A key region contest in Class 4A for tonight's FNN High School Football Game of the Week as a pair of 2-0 teams and top 10 teams in Class 4A clash here at Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium. Alexandria makes the 15-minute drive down Highway 431 to take on the Anniston Bulldogs, ranked 5th in the state of Alabama in Class 4A. We welcome you into the FNN High School Football Game of the Week from Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium in the heart of Anniston. A happy game day wherever you're watching us from on FNN. James Hardy with you. Now, Coach Eddie Bullock not with us tonight. He'll be back with us next week, but we have a veteran, at least former head coach in a number of places, including St. Clair County and most recently at Etowah. Matt Glover joins us as our guest analyst tonight. And then also, of course, the rest of our FNN crew, including Shasta Jones, along the sidelines. First, Matt, welcome into the telecast. Happy game day. A big game tonight in Class 4A Region 6 for both Anniston and Alexandria.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Yes, it is. You know, it's a big region game for both teams. Both of them played 2 games already. Now coming into this game, kind of, see where they're at. So.
And not only for Anniston is it a big region game for them, it's their home opener as they've played their first 2 games on the road, coming up with wins at Beauregard down in Opelika 28-15. And then last week they won 43-20 at Asheville. But watching at least a recap of that game from last week, Matt, that 43-20 score is really not indicative of how well that Anniston dominated on the road last week.
Yeah, usually when you get up big, start out early, you try to get some younger kids into play. I'm sure that Coach Jackson tried to get some of his younger guys in right there at the end and get them some work, because you never know. I always told our guys, hey, you're one snap away from, being a starter, so you want to see what they can do, get some film on them. Plus, they practice a lot, so, get them in and get some playing time.
And then when you look at the Anniston program historically, Matt, they've always had some of the best athletes in the entire state of Alabama.
Yeah, and looking at them warm up out here tonight, it don't look like they're missing a beat this year either, so.
Probably a couple of players that we should look out for, especially offensively. Jabari Williams, that remember a couple seasons ago with Walter Welburn, rushed for over 1,000 yards as a sophomore. And then Damon Pope at quarter, really an all-purpose athlete, but should get the start at quarterback tonight, the senior. And then also, let's take a look as far as the Alexandria Valley Cubs. Remember, a couple seasons ago, Alexandria had to get to the final regular season week just to get one regular season win on the board to conclude 2023. But last year, they were able to finish with an 8-4 record, including a first-round playoff win on the road. And they also had a near miss up at Brooks High School in the second round of the 4A playoffs. They're also off to a 2-0 start this season with wins at Jacksonville and last week at home against White Plains. So some good vibes, Matt, going for Coach Ginn's Alexandria Valley Cubs early on.
Yeah, I know, talking to him a couple years ago, I know they were young, and he was very excited about the future of the program. And, looking at these kids out here right now, Alexandria is one of those teams that are perennial, always been powerhouses. They don't beat themselves. They've got a system they've been running since, Moby Dick was a menace. So, this will be a really good game. Looking forward to it.
So it should be a very interesting ball game. This will be the 42nd meeting all time between Alexandria and Anniston, as Anniston has won 34 of the prior 41 games played, including last season's 40-16 win. We'll take the time out and we'll take a look at some big ones across the state of Alabama following our first time out here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit Debit Card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Welcome to Calhoun County, Alabama, your natural attraction. We have invigorating outdoor activities, amazing cultural sites, mouth-watering food, and southern hospitality, all wrapped into one amazing vacation destination. Whether you're looking for a relaxing overnight getaway or for a one-of-a-kind escapade, Calhoun County boasts an incredible selection of outdoor recreational opportunities. Calhoun County is the natural attraction, centrally located between Atlanta and Birmingham, with plenty of fun and memories waiting to be made. Come to Calhoun County, Alabama, a natural attraction.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
It's game day, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
from the Loft Tackle Store,
from the team in service,
from the team in parts,
from the sales team,
from the Bucks Island family. Good luck and go get 'em, boys.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
About 20 minutes away from toe meeting leather here at Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium, a key early season region tilt in Class 4A Region 6 between Alexandria and Anniston. James Hardy, Shasta Jones, Matt Glover, and the rest of our FNN crew. Time to look at some big ones across the state of Alabama tonight as we'll bring in our Jim Jacobs to take a look at some big early season region games across our area.
Yeah, and we've got some big ones tonight, guys. No question about it. Let's get this thing started. We'll start out with Southside Gadsden at Fort Payne tonight. That's a big region game, Coach.
Yeah, it is. You know, going to Fort Payne is always a tough place to play. Not saying they get some home cooking, but the calls usually go their way. So,
who you like, James?
I like Fort Payne at home.
Yep, I'm with Fort Payne as well on this one. Coach, you got a favorite in this one?
Yeah, I'd have to go Fort Payne.
All right, Miss Jones, time for you to throw in your 2 cents. Let's see, where is she? Okay, I see her. Hang on, Shasta, here we go. Now you're on, go ahead.
I got to go with Fort Payne as well.
Fort Payne, has Jackson made his way to the stadium yet?
Yes, sir, I have. And I'm going to go with Fort Payne.
Hey, look, what's this showing up when you want to stuff?
I apologize. It took me 20 minutes to park.
Yeah, probably did. There's going to be a big crowd here tonight. Well, there's already a lot of people here. All right, let's go to the next one, guys. That's a across the board for Fort Payne. Welborn at Glencoe tonight. Any chance Glencoe pulls the upset, Coach?
You know, new coach at Glencoe, Coach Smith at Welborn's been there. You know, field named after him. I have to go Coach Smith and Welborn.
Glencoe's gotten off to a pretty good start this year at 2-1, but I just like Walter Welborn. Too much physicality tonight.
Yep, I'll go with the Panthers as well. All right, Shasta.
I got to go with Coach Smith and the Panthers as well.
And I got to agree, I can't pick against Coach Smith, and I get the win here.
Okay, there's our second across the board for tonight. Let's get to this one. Jacksonville showed me something last week, James. I thought the Golden Eagles played with a lot of heart. Of course, scoreboard didn't actually show it that way, but we saw it in person. I think Jacksonville's eventually going to beat somebody they're not supposed to. I think they'll get center point tonight. What do you think?
I think so. I think so too. It'll test Jacksonville's maturity coming off of a tough game last week at home, and I like Jacksonville on the road. What do you think, Coach?
I got friends at Jacksonville who coach there, but playing at center point, that's a different place to play. I have to go with center point.
Let's send it down to the sideline.
I like the way the Jacksonville Eagles fought last week really hard. I'm going to go with them.
And I got to agree, despite the loss last week to Moody, I think they go on the road and get the win here.
So now let's move on to our next game, at least on our schedule. Interesting ball game, not too far away from Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium, Weaver and Sachs.
I got to go with Sachs on this one, although they're both having tough seasons. Sachs is hurting on numbers. Just hadn't shaken out very well for the Bearcats so far, but I like Sachs because it's at home.
I kind of agree with Jim on this one. I could see this going right down to the wire, but I think the home field advantage gives Sachs enough of an edge tonight. What about you, Coach?
I have to go with Weaver. I'd have to go with Weaver.
Let's throw it down to the sideline for Shasta.
It could go either way, but I'm going to agree with Coach on this one. I'm going to go with Weaver Bearcats.
Sachs has really ran the gauntlet the past 2 weeks with Westbrook and Piedmont, and I think that experience helps them and they get the win here.
Oh, I got to go with Sachs, but I think I already said that. Here we go. Next up, Lincoln at Leeds. This game has a lot of ifs for me. Lincoln has definitely improved. James, we saw them against Munford. They've got a ton of athletes. They can get the explosive play, and they hit you hard on defense. You kind of like what the coach has done there in his first season. But, Leeds is Leeds, and they always have been. What do you think?
And, Jim, I think in my mind, if this was the second or third year of Coach Brett Henderson at Lincoln, I would think about picking Lincoln in this type of ball game, but I'm not to that point yet. I like Leeds at home. How about you, Coach?
It's hard for me to go against Jerry Hood. Great coach. Had a lot of battles with him when I was at Pinson, so I have to go with Leeds.
Yeah, Coach Hood, he's a master for sure. I'm going with Leeds as well. Shasta?
The Green Wave all the way.
And I got to agree, I love what I see from Coach Henderson, but I just think they're going to be outmatched on the road, and I got to go with Leeds.
Well, there's another one across the board. Seems like we've got all that going, and this might be another game where doing the same thing might be wise. Moody and St. Clair County at the Bill, James.
This is going to be this is a top 10 matchup as St. Clair County in the top 10 this week at number 9. Oh, and they're coming off a bye week. I think they might have a chance to win tonight, but I think Moody having the home field advantage, another one of those games where home field makes the difference, Moody by 1 score.
And they've got all those monsters, too. I'm going with the Blue Devils and Coach Gaines. How about it, Coach?
My heart wants to say St. Clair, but my mind says Moody.
Let's send it down to Shasta.
I got to agree with you, James. Home field advantage, it could go either way, but I'm going to go with Moody Blue Devils.
And I agree. I can't pick against Coach Gaines and the Blue Devils. I'm going with Moody.
All right. There's another one all the way across. The Big O is on the road over to the Tribe. They take on Pinson Valley tonight. I'm going Oxford, James.
I'm going to go Oxford, too. I think they rebounded well last week, and they'll follow that up this week.
I think this is going to be a close game. Oxford and Pinson, they've been playing for a while. Pinson's played a little bit better here recently, but I have to go with Oxford.
And then, Shasta, what do you think about Oxford and Pinson Valley?
I got to go with Coach Sam Adams and the Oxford Yellow Jackets.
And I got to agree, Oxford kind of started a little slow in those first 2 games, but they got their confidence back last week, and I think they continue that momentum.
All right, we're going to jump in here and take a quick break, and then we'll be right back with the rest of our big ones here on the Countdown to Kickoff, presented by Bama Sheds on FNN.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Gotta have a ring first. Remember, she has to say yes to the ring before she says yes to the dress. Riverside just makes it better.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
We continue our countdown to kickoff, and we'll resume with our big ones as we'll take a look at a very huge matchup for Pleasant Valley as they're on the road at Pisgah tonight. And I tell you what, I think this is the type of game as far as with how Coach Jonathan Nix has helped develop this Pleasant Valley football program. I'm going to pick them to go on the road and get a signature win tonight at Pisgah.
Boy, that's a big call on an upset there, buddy. Coach, what do you think? If Pleasant Valley wins this game, they're probably going to run the table.
Yeah, Coach Nix, he's done a great job there. He's kind of, took some lumps, but this year he's got him going in the right direction. I have to go with Coach Nix also.
I'm going with Pleasant Valley to get the upset, but I think it's going to be close. Shasta?
The way Pleasant Valley's been playing, I got to go with the Raiders.
And I got to agree. I got to go with Pleasant Valley here. They've outscored their opponents 129-7. And I got to go with Pleasant Valley to get the job done tonight.
Well, there you go, guys. That's another across the board that's a little strange. Ranburn at Reeltown. These two don't like one another at all, Coach.
Yeah, Reeltown, looking at both schools, Reeltown, it's just, I think Reeltown pulls it out, especially at their place.
I have to agree with Coach as well. Ranburn's had a solid start to the season, but tough trip for them down to Reeltown, and like the home team to come out with a W.
All right, I like Reeltown to pick up the W as well. Shasta, you're up.
I have to agree with you all. Reeltown Rebels.
And I got to agree once again. I think Coach Johnson's going to be too much for the Ranburn Bulldogs tonight.
This isn't a lot of fun if we're all going to pick the same teams. And that gets us to why we're here tonight. And, boy, there's a lot to be said about this game, James.
There is indeed, as you take a look at a pair of undefeated teams at 2-0 in Alexandria and Anniston. Anniston last year a quarterfinal round appearance in the 4A playoffs as they finished at 7-6 on the season. They played their best football in the postseason. And, in fact, as far as we'll hear from both of these coaches as far as their best, or I should say their keys to victory. So let's first hear from Anniston head coach Rico Jackson as far as what he thinks is the Bulldogs' keys to victory tonight.
Keys for success, number one, doing your job. as hard as you can do your job. Always eliminate turnovers and cause turnovers. So those are 3 big keys to success. I feel like Alexandria has a good team. I feel like they play hard. We have to match or exceed their energy. So we do those things. I feel good about our outcome.
And then also a big game for Alexandria, as this is an opportunity really to continue to propel themselves back to where at least their standards are at Alexandria. And let's hear as far as the keys from Coach Todd Ginn.
Well, I think the key, any time, but in this game especially, Anniston is so reliant on explosive plays, whether it be through their quarterback's legs, or the deep ball by their quarterback or the running back. Those are the things, cutting down Anniston's explosive plays. And then I think for us is to use our strengths. I mean, we're in good shape. We have to play a lot of guys still both ways, but we're in real good shape. So I think the success whether or not we have success is going to, can we match them in some explosive plays, but at the same time, can we sustain some drives and make them stay on the field? Big linemen, I think they got 3 linemen, offensive linemen that are over 300, and then they have a couple of defensive linemen that are over 300, and their linebackers 255. Anytime you got those guys that are that big, if you can sustain drives, get into their wind. And that's what we've got to do. We've got to sustain some drives, get them tired, and I think if we can do that, it'll be to our advantage.
And there you heard the keys from both coaches, Todd Ginn for Alexandria as well as Rico Jackson for Anniston, as the captains for both teams set to come to midfield. As you have across the way, the Alexandria Valley Cubs, they'll be in their white tops, and looking at some of their captains, Cole Wheeler along with Beeson, a couple of their captains, J.J. Beeson wearing number 1 tonight. And also looking at some of the others, number 44 in Ryan Brown and Parker Nemeth along the offensive line. And then for Anniston, look at their captains, Darionte Brooks. We had him as part of our coaches show on Tuesday nights. This past Tuesday night up at Top of the River, and also Damon Pope, as well as Jabari Williams and Dakias Baker, the captains for the Anniston Bulldogs. Anniston looking for a really big season, and at least when we first talked with Coach Rico Jackson at Calhoun County High School Football Media Days in July, he had a lot of expectations as far as, at least just in his mind, he thinks his team, maybe with the talent that they have, should be able to do something really big, Matt, this season.
Yeah, looking at them both warming up, Anniston looks like Anniston of the old. They got, like Coach said, they got big kids, big linemen, good skill. But, Alexandria, on the other hand, I think the key to them is, they're going to, is like he said, is make those linemen run side to side. So I look for them to come out throwing some screens, making the linemen have to run and getting going.
The captains make their way out to midfield, as also Thomas Pratt makes his way out to midfield, our referee, to conduct our toss of the coin.
All 8 captains out here, y'all been chosen captains for a reason. You're the leader of your team. We need you to help us out with sportsmanship throughout this contest. Can you do that for us? Yes? Yes? You have any questions for us real quick? No? As a visiting team, you get to make the call on the coin flip, and I've got a coin with a bulldog on it for the home team. That's going to be our heads. All right? Of course, the other side will be tails. What's your call? Tails. He says tails. If I drop this, we'll do it again. Tails is the call. It is heads. Anniston, you won the coin toss, and he wants to receive the ball. Since he's going to choose to receive the ball, you get to decide which way you want.
Looks as if.
All right. So put your backs to that goal line. Put your backs to this goal line. I'm going to let everybody that Anniston won the toss, has chosen to receive the ball. We're going to go this way. Shake hands one more time and come back out here with your captains. Thank y'all.
So Anniston.
You're with your teams.
Anniston wins the coin toss, and they are going to decide to receive the opening kickoff. Our countdown to kickoff this evening brought to you by our friends at Bama Sheds. Built tough, built fast, backed
want to receive.
by Bama Sheds. You can find them at www.bamasheds.com. James Hardy along with Coach Matt Glover filling in for our Eddie Bullock as here comes the Alexandria Valley Cubs coming on to Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium. As they had a record last season of 8-4, a bit of a bounce-back season for them after a 1-9 2023, as they were able to advance to the second round of the Class 4A playoffs in 2024, and also about ready to come out of the home field house off toward the east end zone at Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium is the Anniston Bulldogs. Also a 2-0 record coming in to tonight. 7-6 last year, but Matt, once again, they played last year their best football in the postseason, making it all the way to the quarterfinals of the 4A playoffs.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach is hoping they get off to a fast start right here. I think this opening kickoff is going to be key for Alexandria, keeping this speed contained and make them drive the distance of the field.
Well, we heard Coach Todd Ginn mention that's exactly what he wanted to do, basically keep his offense on the field. And for Anniston, what do you think Rico Jackson's team needs to do to get their third victory of the season and their first at home this year?
Number one, my goal was always, and I'm sure Coach is the same, is end every possession with a kick. No turnovers, no stupid penalties, no self-inflicted wounds. I think that's, especially when you have two teams like this playing, that's always the key to the game is self-inflicted wounds and turnovers.
I tell you what, I've heard Nick Saban say that so many times when he was coaching down in Tuscaloosa from 2007 to 2023, especially during the teeth of that those championship runs in the mid-2010s as far as ending every possession on a kick, whether it was a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Because as you know all too well, Matt, that means you're not turning the ball over.
Yeah, and you win a lot of games that way. The turnover margin is probably the biggest stat in football. Usually whoever wins the turnover battle is usually the team that wins.
And I imagine not only the players, but I imagine Rico Jackson, the coaching staff for Anniston, they're probably happy after having their first two on the road to be back at home to finally get a home game in such a big game tonight.
Oh, yeah. But playing at home is always fun. I'll be honest with you, I always like to go on the road because I thought there was less distractions. When you're at home, you got to keep the kids confined for a while. You got them from he probably gets them 2:30 in the afternoon, 2 o'clock. And, with Alexandria making – I know it's not a long road trip, but, still get in a bus, get them over here, get them settled down. So I was always like to play on the road.
Certainly, that's not a uncharacteristic opinion as far as the coaching fraternity is concerned when it comes to, less distractions, as you mentioned, Coach, as far as your team being on the road, as it looks as if the folks here at Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium are at attention, as I believe we are set to play the national anthem. Outstanding national anthem from the Anniston High School Marching Band. As you also see, looks like the Anniston High School ROTC at midfield that conducts as far as bringing out the American flag and the state of Alabama flag here at Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium. Once again, James Hardy, Coach Matt Glover, along with Shasta Jones down along the sidelines, and, of course, our FNN crew. As we have a big, big game tonight in Class 4A Region 6. as Anniston will receive the opening kickoff. And our kickoffs tonight brought to you by MVP Wings. Certainly check them out as far as MVP Wings on Facebook when it comes to their tailgating wing deals, their weekend football wing deals from our friends at MVP Wings here in Anniston. And certainly one of these teams looking for an MVP type of night to get an extra leg up in Class 4A Region 6. We didn't mention in our countdown to kickoff, but of course one of the key pieces the last few years for Todd Ginn, Cleet Forrest, one of the top, if not the top place kicker in the state of Alabama the last 3 years or so, has moved on to Jacksonville State University. So that means a new place kicker coming on for the Valley Cubs this season.
Looks like, James, we got our first knee pad issue. You know, these kids, and they watch the pros in the college, and they all want to keep their knee pads up around there. Look, they're wearing shorts nowadays. So
Valen Eaton set, or at least one of the kickoff men. As there's an end over end kick. That'll go over, looks like Damon Pope, and go into the end zone for the touchbacks. Actually, Cole Wheeler able to get the kickoff that time for Alexandria, and gets the job done as far as that touchback. We appreciate you for joining us here on the F&N High School Football Game of the Week as Randy Wood brings us our first quarter here on a big Friday night. And there you see State Representative Randy Wood. A big thanks to him and all of our sponsors tonight, as always, for helping make the F&N Game of the Week possible. So they'll spot the football, of course, at the 20-yard line. And we'll, for the most part, see Damon Pope at quarterback. May have a chance as far as seeing Jamoris Young and more at the throwing quarterback, as Damon Pope will, however, get the call. Back in motion as Pope has time, wants to go down the field, has a man, and nice defensive play as that's slapped away and incomplete.
Looks like Anniston tried to hit him deep on the first play, sent the back out in motion, sent all 4 receivers on the vert routes, trying to pick on that one high safety look.
So an outstanding defensive play that time for Alexandria, as knocking that away was Evan White, the defensive back. All of our replays tonight brought to you by Superior Pest Control.
Another knee pad issue.
Already a couple, and we haven't even gotten off the starting block so far tonight.
Yeah, I think that was he's got his little thing on his. God, as a coach, that would kill you. Try to make sure they dress right.
So second down and 10. As the give right into the teeth of that Alexandria defense to Jabari Williams, and that does not get a whole lot, as that may get a couple of yards to set up a third down and long. And I imagine defensively for Alexandria, Matt, that's exactly where they want to put this Anniston offense.
Oh, yeah, third and long for sure. You know, they tried to run the power, a little unbalanced set, run power to the field, and Alexander did a good job stuffing it.
We'll see Jabari Williams and Quintavious Cunningham at running back for Anniston. Kedrick Jordan, Jaden Hurd, and Ja'Cory Carr, the receivers. Line to reach the 30-yard line for the first down. So a momentary stoppage in play by Thomas Pratt, our referee.
Yeah, it looks like Alexandria, both of them have some uniform issues.
So it looks as if both teams having a little bit of uniform issues early on. As third down, Pope scrambles to the near side, and he'll remain on his feet but go down for a sack in the backfield. A big loss that time as Eli Kirby finishes off the play for a sack.
Great pursuit by the defense. You know, first guy got there, got away, but then you saw 6 hats around the ball.
Superior Pest Control, at least with a look at that first Alexandria sack of the night, and not exactly what Anniston wants to start the night off, a 3-and-out deep in their own territory.
Not at all, not at all.
So Damon Pope remains out to punt the football. as that also means that returning will be M.J. Morris Jr. Morris just a sophomore. As there's Pope's punt off the side of his foot, looks like, and that'll barely get across the Anniston 40. And that's going to mean some outstanding field position for Alexandria. So if the Valley Cubs couldn't script a better start, a 3-and-out defensively, a short punt by Anniston, they're going to have the football in Anniston territory.
Yeah, looking at that punt formation, James, I wouldn't doubt you see Alexandria later come after that ball. He's not about 8 yards deep, and you know, the only thing that kind of scares you got an athlete back there at punting. If you know, that's the only thing that kind of scares you as a coach.
So first down and 10. As the football at the 41 of Anniston. Cole Wheeler, the quarterback, as he'll give off a little jet sweep handoff and some running room for Alexandria as they'll get inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. As J.J. Beeson on the first down carry, courtesy of Adam Bowden Construction, as we'll take a superior second look at that first down run.
Yeah, all that was, James, was just buck sweep. They just did it by sending the guy in motion. So pull both guards to the boundary. Had good blocking, good seam.
A gain of 12 yards on first down. So that'll move the sticks for Alexandria as Wheeler all alone in the backfield. Beeson roams to the far side and looks as if we have a stoppage in play.
Self-inflicted wounds that will kill you. You go from 1st and 10, now it's 1st and 15.
We'll hear from Thomas Pratt here in a moment. That's a false start that goes. And there you hear the false start on the Valley Cubs. So first down and 15 now from the Bulldogs' 34-yard line. J.J. Beeson and Ryan Brown are your backs as Wheeler all alone, empty backfield as Beeson now comes into motion. Quarterback keeper for Wheeler. He's got running room off the right side as he'll take a tackler or two or three with him inside the 25 to about the 24-yard line.
Yep, right there was just your power read by the quarterback. He's reading the last man on line of scrimmage. If he gets upfield, he keeps the ball. If not, he's throwing the screen out there to the motion man. Good play call.
Well, but looks as if that the Alexandria offense already having to move back because it appears another penalty. And there's the flag on the play that goes on Alexandria. Flag thrown about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it looks like a hold.
Let go here.
So that's going to move the football back to the 44 indeed on a holding call. So already a couple of penalties.
Repeat first down.
There you go, as Thomas Pratt reminds us of the holding call. And still first down, but 1st and 25 now. We'll take a look at the rest of the Alexandria starters on offense after this first down play. Wheeler looks to the far side for an audible as the play clock down to 10. Wheeler back beside him as the carry goes to Beeson as he'll get stood up. It looks like Darionte Brooks, one of those for Anniston that helped lead the charge on the tackle after a gain of about 3 yards.
Just a little inside zone play. Alexandria's lucky they didn't get called for another illegal procedure. The tight end put his hand down late. I don't think he was set for a second.
So it looks like a sloppy start in some ways for both teams, as it's a fairly warm night but a comfortable night here at Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium. And the visiting stands across the way, not a seat to be had. An outstanding crowd here in Anniston. 2nd and 22. Wheeler on the play fake. Wants to set up, and he has a receiver down the field, and that's complete deep into Anniston territory as it was caught at the 20-yard line. As we'll take a superior pest control second look at that pitch and catch from Wheeler to White.
Yep, just the old-fashioned waggle play. Just did it out of the gun, you know. Alexandria, they're just basically running wing T stuff. They're just doing it out of the gun.
So they needed 22 yards from the 41, and they were able to get 24 for a first down and 10. An outstanding look that time by Cole Wheeler as man comes in motion. As the give off to the right side, and not much doing that time for, looks like, Morris on the jet sweep handoff. MJ Morris, the sophomore wide receiver, and taking a look at the rest of the Alexandria starting lineup. They'll have Gavin Sweet at left tackle. Gage Kelly and Will Martin are the guards. Also might see some Knox Faulkner on the offensive line. Russell Trantham, the center, and Parker Namath are the center and the right tackle, respectively. Also a flag on the play. So right now they have the football marked at the 18-yard line and what would be second down. As looks as if our referee Thomas Pratt has the note card out. Apparently nothing doing right now. So we'll hear from Thomas.
Unsportsmanlike on the offense, dead ball, unsportsmanlike on the defense. Those penalties are offset, still second down.
I imagine it's one of those, Matt, to where the official's trying to make sure everything stays in control on the field.
Yeah, they're trying to keep everything close to the vest right here. So.
A red zone opportunity and some decent running room off of left guard that time, as Beeson able to advance the football inside the 15 to the 13-yard line.
Yeah, just old school belly right there. Send the guy in motion and hand the ball off and see gap.
A second look that time at that second down carry as a third down coming up. So they'll mark the football at the 13-yard line. So third down and 6.
Yeah, I think this is 2 down territory here for Alexandria.
Wheeler with Beeson beside him. Plenty of time on the play clock as the give to Beeson off right tackle. As that does appear that Todd Ginn setting up for a 4th down and short, as that's a pretty good gain on 3rd and medium to get the football inside the 10-yard line and set up a 4th and very manageable.
Yeah, they're hurting them on the buck sweep right now. You know, Anniston's not doing a good job of they got to set that edge.
High above Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium, 4th down and a yard to go from the 8. Anniston up front. You have Jamarco Rudolph along with Zayden Spinks, the tackles. Damaris Allman and Charles Thomas are the defensive ends. 4th down and 1 to go. Big play early on. Wheeler under center. Man comes in motion. As we'll have a whistle and looks like a timeout on the field. Timeout for Alexandria, and we'll take the timeout with them here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. A big 4th and 1 coming up.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Down coming up. 4th down and 1 from the 8-yard line as Alexandria got a 3-and-out defensively to begin this ball game. And they've been able to drive the football despite some penalties inside the 10-yard line as Anniston looking for what would be a huge defensive stop.
Yeah, I think that last play, James, they were looking to try to run the ball up the middle, and Anniston put somebody right over the center right there, and so I think that's why they got a timeout.
So 4th down on the way. Wheeler under center. Man comes into motion. Here's to give Beeson lots of running room off the right side.
Fumble.
Fumbles the football.
Oh.
And let's see who has it.
Looks like Anniston has the ball.
And if Anniston has it, that is a big turnover, Matt, for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, you're looking at 1st and goal inside the 1. Now you got Anniston with the ball.
Superior Pest Control with that second look at the Anniston fumble recovery, as they're able to dodge a massive bullet that time, as They'll take over. Will the Bulldogs? 1st and 10 inside their own 10-yard line. Looks like at the 5. Let's take a rest of the look at the Anniston offense. As we'll see Malachi Hall at tight end. Aiden Goodson at left tackle. Michael Cole, who we saw on Tuesday on our coaches show, at left guard. Zayden Spinks, the center. Brendan Coleman at right guard. And Jamarco Rudolph at right tackle. Anniston 3 and out on their opening possession. However, their defense able to come through when they need it. 1st down and 10 as State Representative Randy Wood brings you our first quarter. Also a big thanks to our folks from F&M Bank. Always money in the bank for us as far as long-time partners of ours. Service, solutions, and strength. That is F&M Bank.
Anniston coming out and empty right here. Look for a quarterback run or throw it deep.
Well, they're backed up at their own 5-yard line as Pope on the run gets out of his own end zone, and there is a hold on the play, or at least a flag on the play, I should say, as Pope bottled up back to the line of scrimmage. So you have
and through him. We're going to get a holding. It's behind the line of scrimmage. We're going to go half the distance. Oh, he might want to decline it.
Let's see what Todd Ginn and his sideline wants to do.
Decline it. All right, we're going to decline it. Be 2nd down.
Decline the penalty. Lucky James wasn't holding in the end zone. You know, that's a safety there. So.
Well, you're right. As now Thomas Pratt will give the official indication of the hold on Anniston, and that will lead us to a 2nd down as that's declined. A nice job by Eli Kirby and the defense for the Valley Cubs of bottling up Damon Pope. Cooper Bridges, by the way, along with Corey Owens along the defensive front as we have a timeout on the field. And in fact, let's hear as far as our F&N microphones as we had a chance to talk with Coach Rico Jackson earlier this week. This is his 3rd season here in Anniston. They've always been a consistent playoff participant, but it seems as if that they're building something big this year, and we'll hear what Coach Jackson, as far as his thoughts on where this Anniston program is at this point in his 3rd season.
This is going on my 3rd year, so for the first 2 years, I feel like we have grown as a group as far as structure, discipline, and maturity. Right now, we're 2-0. We're looking to be 3-0. It takes all those things to continue to, number one, grow as a group, but also continue to win games. So I feel like we have grown since I arrived, and we want to continue to grow.
Boys want to hear as far as from any coach, but especially for this Anniston program under Coach Jackson, and that's the growth. Here's direct snap and good blocking on the right side. That leads to an Adam Bauman construction 1st down, the first of the night for Anniston as they're able to get out of their own shadows of the goal line and advance the football to the Alexandria 26-yard line.
Yep, just a quarterback sweep. You know, Anniston had him outflanked with the little wing right there, and good run by the quarterback.
Damon Pope that time shows his wheels and athleticism as he gets a gain of 21 yards, 1st down and 10. Ball at the near hash mark. As the gift right up the gut and lots of running room for the Bulldogs as deep into Anniston territory now is Jabari Williams as he gets the football to the Alexandria 37-yard line, and we'll take a Superior Pest Control a second look.
Yep, just a counter play. Good blocking by the guard, good seal by the wing.
And just lots of running room. In fact, it took nearly 15 yards for the first Valley Cub defender to bring down the Anniston ball carrier, Jabari Williams. Pope now looks to the sideline. Looks like now Quintavious Cunningham, the lone setback. Cunningham gets the call, runs into a Valley Cub defender, and he's going to be taken down in the backfield for at least a modest loss that time, as a nice job by Reese Trantham, the defensive tackle, of coming in support and finishing off the play.
Good pursuit by the D-line, getting to the football. Just Anniston trying to run a little inside zone right there. D-line did a good job getting penetration and stopping it.
Trentham able to finish off the play as that will lose back to the Alexandria 42-yard line. That's a loss of 4 on the play.
Pass here, James.
Approaching the 4-minute mark in the opening quarter. Pope, and before he can wind up, we're going to have a whistle and looks like flag on the play. So we'll hear from Thomas Pratt.
Number 16.
Yeah, it is a penalty on, looks like on
15 or 16. I don't know what to. 15. Before the snap, dead ball, false start, offense. 5, still second down.
I can understand Thomas Pratt's difficulty as far as getting the dark-on-dark number combo, but at least, unlike some years, at least on the Anniston uniforms, the black uniforms tonight, by the way, they do have that white trim on their numbers and letters. Here's Pope on 2nd and long. He's under pressure, trying to escape the rush, and now throws and has his receiver complete. Just shy of the 30 as advancing inside the 30-yard line at that time for the Bulldogs is Isaac Mickle.
Good job of the quarterback making a play there. DB got caught looking in the backfield.
I should say Isaac Michael, that is, on the reception, as that's good enough for an Adam Bauman construction first down. The third one of this second possession of the night for Anniston. We're almost at the 3.5-minute mark of the opening quarter, as it appears there's another stoppage in play. A little confusion on the field, as there's a sideline warning that goes on Alexandria, their first of the night. So the football at the 24-yard line, first down and 10. Anniston off of a 43-20 dominating road win at Asheville last week, as they're trying to win their home opener tonight. Here's the give as Cunningham gets tripped up, and that is a great open field tackle indeed, as it looked like Beeson was able to come up and make the stop.
Yeah, if he don't make that tackle, that play goes for long yardage.
Yeah, in fact, that might have gone all the way to the house. Some substitutions coming in for Anniston on offense. Under 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter, as no score, but Anniston starting their drive from their own 5-yard line after recovering an Alexandria fumble. They have the football inside the Valley Cubs 30. However, 2nd down and 14. Here's Jamoris Young lined up in the backfield, and he's not going to get all that much, maybe about a yard or so, as you had about 5 different white shirts around the ball. And let's see who comes out of the bottom of that pile for Alexandria. I think Kirby, the linebacker, and indeed that is Eli Kirby, the sophomore, 6'2", 185 pounds on the stop. So 3rd down, as the line to gain for the first down for Anniston is the Valley Cubs 14. Pope, quick throw, and that's caught at the 30. Good blocking to the near side, and that might get an Adam Bauman construction first down for Anniston.
Looks like they're marking a yard short.
That's very close indeed, as the catch made by Corey Lane. So a second look that time from Superior Pest Control, and you see a good play call, good athleticism, and almost good enough blocking to get Anniston the first down, as this is going to set up a 4th and short in decision time for Anniston as they want to talk about it. And we'll take the timeout with them with 1:24 to go. Opening quarter, no score, but another big 4th down coming up here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
A huge fourth down coming up for Anniston. 4th and 1 as Pope tries to sneak it, but I think the defense, and there might have been a fumble. Either way, Alexandria is going to get the football.
Good stop. Just tried the old tush push. Good penetration by the interior guys.
A superior pest control second look as there you see the loose ball as Alexandria was able to come out with the football. Even if they hadn't come up with the football because of how much penetration their defensive line was able to get, they would have gotten the football on downs in any case.
Yeah, great stop by Alexandria there.
We've seen both defenses come up with outstanding fourth down stops as Randy Wood, state representative, will sponsors our first quarter. Big thanks to State Representative Wood. Election season still at least a few months away, at least as far as that primary season. Of course, election season for statewide is still a bit more than a year away. Shotgun for Wheeler as Beeson in motion. As Wheeler wants to go downtown, has a receiver and a little bit overthrown as that goes incomplete.
Tried to fake the sweep, throw it to the Z on the post.
MJ Morris, the intended receiver. As you take a look at Morris, who had gotten a step behind a couple of Bulldogs defenders, just a little bit overthrown that time. There you see a couple of Anniston Bulldogs trailing Morris as a 2nd down and 10 upcoming. Late in the opening quarter, both teams have had drives inside the opponent's red zone and not quite been able to cash in. As we'll have a 2nd down coming up. It looks like we have a stoppage in play, and we'll have at least another timeout on the field. But I tell you what, that'll give us an opportunity, though, to send it down to the field to hear for our first player spotlight from our own Shasta Jones, as we'll hear about the star athlete at running back and strong safety in junior J.J. Beeson.
Jeffrey told me this week he's been working on his mindset. He wants to improve in every single way, not just the ways he scores a ball, how he plays defense, all the little steps and the little things. He went to a camp this summer and worked on improving his speed. He wants younger players to know that even if you're not that good, you can still get the R's that you need and make everyone else better.
Just a junior. Thank you very much, Shasta. And certainly as far as the development of players, you know, Matt, once you start getting into that junior stage of a high school player's career, hey, that leadership role starts to increase on a team.
No doubt.
So 2nd down upcoming. And in motion is Beeson's direct give on the jet sweep. As that's pretty well defended initially as a player's headgear comes off. Looks like for Alexandria, I think that might have been Beeson's headgear that came off. So he might have to actually sit for at least one play as he does advance the football across the 20-yard line to about the 22.
Yeah, I looked for Alexandria to do more of that. They shifted the front, tried to get Anniston outflanked, and Anniston was a little late in moving to the ball.
Some other of the Anniston defenders, Elijah Lanier, Dariante Brooks, Jalen Henderson. Also Takias Baker, Kyrie Lewis, Malachi Hall, Damon Pope, and Kyron Malbrough. Here's a 3rd down, at least tunnel screen pass complete as they needed the 29 did Alexandria, and they're only able to get to about the 27-yard line on the catch by Morris.
Just a screen out to the receiver.
And it looks as if And it's going to be 4th down coming up as we approach the final 15 seconds or so of the opening quarter. A 4th down coming up, you would think punting time, as Coach Todd Ginn and company will make their official decision once we get to the second quarter. A little bit of action so far through the first 12 minutes of play as both teams have been able to stop the other's offense in the red zone. As we're through one quarter of play, a big region game in Class 4A Region 6 as Alexandria and Anniston are scoreless.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
One quarter in the books here at Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium. It is Anniston and Alexandria scoreless as a 4th down coming up and 3 to go.
Big call here by Coach, going for it on your own side of the field on 4th down.
A bit of a gamble coming up. As here's the give to Beeson as he gets wrapped up in the backfield, and Coach Todd Ginn rolls snake eyes on that call.
Yep, blitz by the backer. Nobody picked him up. Tried to run just a buck sweep to the boundary. Good penetration. That's what kills wing T stuff. Penetration kills it.
A superior pest control second look at that TFL that time on the part of Corey Owens, or I beg your pardon, for Anniston. As you had Dakias Baker help out. And also for Anniston, Tariq Judkins that put a stop on that 4th down. I'm not so sure now. Hey, the next game, Matt, that I'll coach will be my first and probably last. I'm not so sure about that 4th down and 3 call deep in your own territory in the second quarter.
Yeah, especially trying to run it out wide.
Here's the give right up the middle.
Counter again.
As Williams on the carry as he's able to get a good gain inside the 15 to the 14-yard line, and by turning it over on downs, that sets up Anniston with outstanding field position.
Yeah, last thing you want to do is give Anniston a short field.
Well, that's exactly what the Valley Cubs offense did by failing to make it on 4th down and 3. So 2nd and short as Williams the lone setback. Give, and looks like breaking through that time. Outstanding defense, shooting the gap was Alexandria as they were able to get the stop thanks to Corey Owens.
Yeah, they just tried the same play the other side. Good job, linebacker blitzed A-gap, and nobody picked him up.
So 3rd down coming up now as the line to reach for the 1st down is the 12. Our second quarter brought to you by Perez Remodeling, locally and family owned. Those experts when it comes to remodeling in our area. Also proud sponsors here on FNN. 3rd down. Here's a throw and a wide open receiver at the 5 and into the end zone. Anniston able to get 6 thanks to Ja'Cory Carr.
Yep, rolling to your left, quarterback rolling to your left. That's a hard throw for a quarterback to make. But, you know, Anniston's done a good job of adjusting and getting the quarterback outside the pocket. Roll him out, let him be an athlete.
So they've played, so Damon Pope on the connection that time of 16 yards to Ja'Cory Carr. That puts Anniston up 6-0.
Little water bucket play.
Going for 2. Here's Pope trying to beat his defender to the corner, and now throws and into the end zone, and that is caught for the 2-point conversion. The catch made by Tariq Judkins as Anniston now able to take an 8-0 lead. Early second quarter here on the F&N High School Football Game of the Week.
Let's make it a November to remember, where we have no payments for 120 days. Folks, that means no payments till next year. Plus, new 22 Chevrolet Equinoxes starting at $24,998, or new 22 Chevrolet Malibu starting at $23,974. Plus, the biggest selection of Silverados we've had in 3 years. Chevrolet of Boaz, your Chevy dealer for life.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
The Anniston defense able to come up with a stop on 4th down and 3 as they were able to turn that into points 3 plays later thanks to the passing touchdown from Damon Pope of 16 yards to Ja'Cory Carr, and then throw in a Pope to Judkins on the 2-point conversion to make it 8-0 in favor of the Bulldogs.
You know, going back to the keys of the game, you know, end every possession with the kick. And, you know, right now, neither team's punted, but, you know, I think this is a huge drive right here for Alexandria early in the game.
So it looks as if we'll have a kickoff really spotted at now the 45-yard line as a penalty on Alexandria on the extra point. So now Dariante Brooks will handle the kickoff duties, as the Bulldogs really don't have a true place kicker on the roster, but still plenty of athletes to get them to an outstanding 2-0 start. So you have Morris and Beeson back to return. The MVP Wings kickoff. As that'll go, or before that.
At offsides up top. Outside receiver was offside.
So we'll redo that MVP Wings kickoff coming up. So that'll move it back to the standard 40-yard line kickoff area.
You know, as a coach, you hate these type of kickoffs right here because you never know where the ball is going to go, especially on turf. The thing can take nasty bounces, and with the athleticism and speed of Alexandria, you know, or with Anniston, you got to make sure Alexandria just covers the ball.
Yeah, it's something to keep in mind as far as Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium. This is just the second year that they've had a turf playing surface here at Lot Mosby. Of course, a long time grass facility. Long-time host of the Anniston Bulldogs. Also, they've hosted some Jacksonville State Gamecocks games in the distant past, including some key Division II playoff games back in the day. So Brooks again for the MVP Wings kickoff. And over in as they'll be fielded at the 10-yard line. Morris trying to find some running room and get some decent return yardage across the 25 to about the 28-yard line. I imagine maybe some of the coaches and their voices with some of the mistakes that we've been seeing, they're going to need maybe some packs of ice for those vocal cords from our friends, the 99-cent bags of ice from our friends at the Grub Mart. Of course, home of the Oleo Donuts and a whole lot more when it comes to the Grub Mart all across our FNN coverage area.
Stop there every morning. Pack my cooler for ice. Can't beat 99-cent ice.
Oh, there you go. Our friends at the Grub Mart will really like that as far as the frequent visits at the Grub Mart. Perez Remodeling brings you our second quarter. Keeper up the middle, gets across the 30 to about the 32-yard line or so. Looked like Cole Wheeler on the zone read keeps it, as that'll set up a 2nd down and 7 on a gain of 3.
You know, you don't see many teams do what Alexandria does. You know, Westbrook with Coach Smith, where they send the quarterback to the sidelines every time and get the play. But they've done it ever since his dad was there, and it's worked for them.
Well, you're right. That's something you rarely see now, even at the high school level. 2nd down and long. Give Beeson. Has running room as he slips, almost was able to get a big gainer, but does get enough for the Adam Bauman construction first down as Damon Pope helps out on the tackle, but not before about an 8-yard first down carry for J.J. Beeson.
Yeah, good job by the running back finding his blockers on the buck sweep and get behind the backside guard finding a seam.
Gain of 9 on the play. Nose of the football at the 41-yard line. Anniston up 8-0. Almost 3 minutes played, second quarter. First and 10.
Oh, little Sally play. Double handoff Sally. Good play by the end coming up making a play.
I'll tell you what, I hadn't quite recognized that, but no worries over Judkins. He recognized it just like Coach Glover did. And Anniston able to read that beautifully and foil at that trick play.
One of the staples of the wing tee, the Sally.
That only gained maybe a yard that time. Requires a lot of eye discipline, as you very well know, Matt,
yes,
as far as being able to stop that type of trickeration, which Anniston did.
Yeah, there's keys you got. You just got to trust your keys and not look at the motion. And
second down is on play action. Wheeler loads and throws.
Ooh.
And that's over everybody and incomplete, as the intended receiver was Evan White. White, the senior, and still, even though a lot of these players started last year, this is still a fairly youthful roster that Coach Todd Ginn has for his Alexandria Valley Cups in 2025. You look at Wheeler, just a junior, Beeson, a junior, MJ Morris, a sophomore, Royce Trantham that plays tight end and up front on the defensive line. He's also just a sophomore.
Big third down play here from Alexandria.
They need the Anniston 49 to keep the drive alive. Wheeler under pressure and now dumps it down and just has to throw it away. Got outside the tackle box as well as able to get it across the line of scrimmage, but excellent pursuit up front to at least stop that play, in the fourth down coming up, as it appeared that Charles Thomas able to apply the pressure.
I think we're going to see our first punt of the day, James.
Well, it'll be the first Alexandria punt that is on this Friday night. Probably should have punted on their last offensive possession. As let's see what they do here. Looks like they may go for it.
Yeah, I think they're going to quick kick with the quarterback. Yep.
And indeed.
That way, make Anniston play defense.
There you go. Wheeler will drop back now into punt formation. Gets a good punt off. And indeed, nobody back, as that'll roll inside the 20. That's a good productive play for Alexandria's special teams, as that'll stop and be fielded at the 14-yard line. First down and 10. Coming up. We heard as far as about Jeffrey J.J. Beeson for Alexandria. And let's hear about another star athlete on the field tonight for Anniston, one of their primary leaders in safety and quarterback, the senior Damon Pope from our Shasta Jones.
Damon told me this week he's been working on patience, self-control, and leadership. He tries to stay focused and keep his team in the mindset of one day at a time, not rushing things. He wants younger players coming after him to learn that all the hard work pays off. After he graduates, he wants to go to college for football and major in cybersecurity. He currently has 3 offers from Alabama State, North Alabama, and Tuskegee.
That's interesting. A well-rounded player on the field, that is Damon Pope, as he'll keep it to the near side as he's...
Great job by 21. Oh.
But gets out of it as he has open running room. Pope still on his feet as he breaks a couple tackles, and he's still going. Breaks another one and gets almost to midfield. That's an incredible individual effort that time, Matt, from Damon Pope.
Yeah, it was. Had it stopped in the backfield, just didn't wrap up. You know, quarterback made a reverse field and just being an athlete. Great play.
I tell you, superior pest control, providing the exact adjective on that type of play from Damon Pope. Superior as far as effort.
That is a coach what kills you. You got a 5-yard loss and turns into a 25-yard gain. So
I started at the 14. They're now at the 46. That's a 32-yard gain, in fact, for Damon Pope. And that gets Anniston outstanding field position.
Counter again.
Well, before that, we've got a yellow hanky down on the field.
Point. White. Dead ball before the snap. Encroachment. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Still first.
I know the last time we heard from Thomas Pratt a couple of weeks ago over at Lincoln against Munford, he got quite a bit of airtime as far as the amount of penalties that were thrown in that game. And quite a few so far in this first half as well. There's some more good defense on the part of Alexandria as they were able to read that zone read to perfection as they're able to get Williams to the ground right around the line of scrimmage. You had, by the way, Cooper Bridges that helped lead the way on the tackle.
Yeah, I think Alexandria now is seeing the counter formations, got the sniffer in the back, both stacked, and they've been running counter every time. They're starting to blitz the A-gap, which is, that penetration right there kills you.
Well, not the prettiest rhythm-wise in the first half, the prettiest first half you'll ever see. But for Anniston, they are on top 8-0 in their home opener. Second down. Here's the throw over the middle, and nobody near the receiver complete. As making his second catch of the night is Ja'Cory Carr. And I think you and I were as close to Carr as any of the Alexandria defenders were, Matt.
Yeah, I think the outside linebacker misplayed that. They ran the inside receiver on a go route and took the number 2, the outside receiver, and he was running like a dig.
So that was the throw from Jamoris Young, the junior, as he's in at quarterback. Quick bubble screen, and that's dropped and incomplete as Carr, again, the intended target.
You got to catch it before you run.
It appeared that time that J.J. Beeson was the man in coverage. As we go under 6 minutes to go, it appears the Heat timeout on the field, so we'll take the timeout with them. 5:56 to go until halftime. It's still Anniston 8 and Alexandria nothing.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Seconds to go until halftime as Anniston started this drive on their own 14-yard line. They have the football at the Alexandria 32-yard line. Perez Remodeling brings you our second quarter here on the F&N Game of the Week. Young rolls, and there's the toss, and complete over the middle. As looks like the ground calls the fumble, but the play continues as Beeson with the fumble recovery as he rolls down the sideline, and appears Alexandria will indeed get the football as the catch made by Jayden Hurd as he dropped the football after the catch, and so Alexandria will get the turnover as we'll take a Superior Pest Control second look at that Alexandria fumble recovery.
Big turnover there for Alexandria.
Well, there you see. Looked like Pope came back in at quarterback, was able to find his receiver over the middle and Hurd. And Beeson able to recover the fumble and then take that all the way back to the Anniston 29-yard line. That's a momentum play for the Valley Cubs, as it appeared that the Bulldogs are driving to try and take a 2-score lead. This could be one of those big momentum swing changes in this ball game if Alexandria can take this ball from the 29 and score. Wheeler under center. A pitch back goes to Beeson, has blocking on the left side, and looked as if a good tackle from the defensive backfield by one of the defensive backs, the free safety Kyrie Lewis, who made the tackle. So a decent, modest 4-yard gain, check that. A little more than modest, but a good still defensive play on the part of Kyrie Lewis. So second down. We approach 5 minutes to go until halftime.
There's offsides right there.
Let's see. There comes the penalty flag. Looks like one of the coaches on the Anniston sideline pointing Alexandria's direction. That's going to be to no avail, though, as indeed that's going to go against the Bulldogs. So Alexandria with the momentum right now. Even though they're down 8, they have the football at the very edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Good time right here, James, to take a shot, second and short.
Wheeler will now shift, or the offensive line will. Beeson, direct handoff, tries to turn the corner,
Great
escapes
cut.
a tackle, sees the end zone, and he's in for the touchdown. Give him 6 for J.J. Beeson, the junior.
Yeah, I look for Alexandria to try to do that more often. They're shifting that front, and Anniston's not doing a good job of shifting with them.
You saw Beeson that time, a superior pest control second look, able to sidestep one defender, set up that key block to spring him 20 yards into the end zone. And Beeson, other than a defender at the 2, not touched that time, as he's able to get the Valley Cubs within a couple. And it appears that Alexandria trying to tie it up.
Running back's done a really good job of letting his block set up in front of him before he makes his cut.
Ryan Brown, the setback. A wing set. As here's the play fake, as immediate pressure as Wheeler tosses and has a receiver, and it's incomplete. As it falls short, actually maybe in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, as we'll take the timeout. 4:33 to go until halftime. It's Anniston 8 and Alexandria 6.
Did you know Kona Ice can help you fundraise for your school? It's true. It's quick, it's easy, and the kids absolutely love having Kona Ice. We'll let you in on a little secret. Teachers love it too. So, how can we help you fundraise this year? It's quick, it's easy, the kids love it, and teachers love it too.
Beeson able to get Alexandria on the board, but some pressure caused by Dekias Baker on the 2-point conversion as the intended pass to J.J. Beeson fell incomplete. And now the Valley Cubs will kick things away. 4:33 to go until halftime. As Judkins deep to receive.
Looks like Anniston moved their deep guy back a little bit this time. The first kickoff, they had him up on about the 25. He's back on the 15 now.
Eaton and Wheeler around that football. And looks as if Eaton lining up to kick things away. Onside kick. It's a loose ball as it goes out of bounds. And I tell you what, Anniston real fortunate to get the football.
Yeah, I think Coach was there just looking at where that deep bite was. If he's up, they're kicking it deep. If he's deep, they're kicking it short.
Well, Alexandria once again goes to the bag of tricks, and they nearly come up with the boxcar roll that time. As the Anniston will, however, get control of the football in great field position. They'll spot the football at the Anniston 48-yard line. About 4 minutes, 28 seconds away from halftime. And, of course, halftime always presented by our friends at the Calhoun County Commission.
Here's your counter formation right here, James.
1st and 10. As Pope on the give, Williams, but not much doing on first effort. But second effort for Williams gets him across midfield to the Alexandria 48-yard line as the stop made by Royce Trantham, the sophomore defensive tackle. Good effort that time by Jabari Williams, a star for Coach Jeff Smith at Walter Welborn just a couple of years ago. And he's been able to make the transition really nicely here at Anniston. 2nd down and 6. Under 4 minutes to go until halftime. Here comes the give, another jet sweep, and Hurd turns the corner, gets the Adam Bauman construction first down, as he goes out of bounds inside the 40-yard line, and they'll spot the football, looks like, back upfield at the 38.
Yep, just a speed sweep to the boundary. Looks like the Alexandria coaches are wanting to hold.
Well, the Alexandria coaches do not get that hold as the chains move for the Bulldogs, as they still nurse a 2-point cushion. They would love to get a little more insurance as far as punching the ball into the end zone. 1st and 10. Ball to 38. Give to Williams as the defense aggressive for Alexandria. Or check that, Cunningham that time on the carry as the stop made by Kaysen Gardner, the linebacker. Also joining him at linebacker, Ryan Brown, Eli Kirby. And then MJ Morris, J.J. Beeson, Evan White, and Tylen Hunt in the defensive backfield.
I think that might have been a misread by the quarterback. Looked like they had RPO with the slant up top. Slant was open. He just handed the ball off.
3 minutes to go until halftime. A sloppy first half at times for both teams as Pope nearly dropped the snap. He drops the throw. He wants to go downtown, down the field, and that goes incomplete with a flag on the play.
Looks like we got a pass interference, kind of iffy.
Carr looks like, or check that, the intended receiver for Anniston is Ja'Cory Lane, as we'll take a second look thanks to Superior Pest Control.
Oh, legal lineman downfield.
Oh, that's an interesting call, indeed.
But I think you got a pass interference also, probably going to be offset and penalties, replay the down.
Well, we'll find out from Thomas Pratt here in a moment. Unless something changes on a dime, we're going to hear from Coach Rico Jackson at halftime.
We have multiple penalties on this play. We have a legal man downfield on the offense. We have pass interference on the defense. These penalties automatically offset and will replay second down.
We've seen some explosive plays at time, Matt, in this ball game in the first half, but we've also seen some sloppy play from both sides.
You got to say.
We've seen some sloppy play at both times that have kind of thrown the rhythm out of sync for both teams so far due to penalties. Also key turnovers for both teams in this first half.
Yep.
Second down. Pope under pressure. Rolls. And now he wants to keep it and run. Makes a juke. And he's going to get his Adam Bauman construction first down inside the 30. As they'll spot the football. Looks like just beyond the first down marker across the way. And about the 28-yard line.
Anniston's really trying to attack the middle of their defense. They ran the drive concept right there with the inside receiver running a 5-yard and the number 2 receiver running a 10-yard dig. If I'm Anniston right here, I'm keeping the ball in the quarterback's hand, some rollout passes. You know, to me, he's more explosive that way and more deadly for a defense when you got him outside the pocket.
Trentham able to make the tackle for Alexandria. That's a gain of 11, we'll call it. Clock stops at 2:34 to go until halftime. Pope in the shotgun. Cunningham on the give as he'll get wrapped up and maybe falls forward for about a yard. Good penetration that time by Alexandria. As taking a look at who made the stop, looked like Caleb Watley that time on the tackle. Minimal yardage, has still plenty of time for Anniston to get a few more points on the board.
Let's get a couple.
With just one more timeout remaining in the first half for Anniston. Also one timeout at the disposal of Alexandria. See how well Anniston manages the clock here. Second and long.
Roll out by the quarterback.
Pope under pressure. Escapes the pressure and turns it upfield as he tumbles over MJ Morris on the tackle. However, Pope able to get close to that first down marker into the red zone at just shy of the 18-yard line.
You know, right there, James, he had all they ran right there was a sail concept. outside defender picking on the outside linebacker. But with him getting outside the pocket, it just put so much pressure on the defense.
Put enough pressure to get about 8 yards that time. 3rd and a long 1 for Anniston.
Counter.
So it looks as if that Pope in the shotgun gives Williams, has to bounce it to the far side, gets around the corner, hurdles a defender, and gets the first down.
Great run by the running back. Alexandria did a good job of sealing the inside. He bounced it outside, just making a great athletic play.
Hold on, though. There is some yellow laundry out on the field. There is a flag on the play.
No, you can't. I think they're going to get right here, James, probably maybe jumping the offensive guy or the defensive guy.
Or it looks as if they at least.
It looks like what it is. It looks like what they're calling.
Well, they indicate a hold initially.
But, that's just a safety issue. That's when most of your concussions happen, when you knees to the helmet, that type stuff. But
well, you see it all the time, especially at the collegiate level and some on Sundays as well.
Yeah, it's just hard. It's hard to tell a kid not to do that, he's just trying to make a play.
So Thomas Pratt about to give us the final indication of the penalty. Thomas Pratt, a bit busy first half himself so far tonight as a referee.
I hope y'all have more batters for that mic.
Hot clock or code coming out? Ask him.
Should be a hot clock here. He's asking, is it a hot clock or a?
So it'll be a 25-second clock here as far as the play clock is concerned. Game clock under 1 minute to go now. 55.9 seconds to go. As now Thomas Pratt will go consult with head coach Todd Ginn across the way. We'll hear from Rico Jackson prior to his team going to the halftime locker room.
Holding on the offense. The penalty is 10 yards from the spot of the foul. We will start the clock on the ready. 3rd down.
So 3rd down coming up.
Here, looks like right here. Looks like they're in a rollout position right here, James. The only thing about it, the inside receiver is ineligible.
Clock under a minute to go.
Inside zone, good.
There's the give to Williams as
Great.
he gets out of 2 tackles on his feet to the end zone for a touchdown.
Great individual play. God, they had him wrapped up for no gain, and he just makes a play. Great run.
Superior pest control again with superior effort for Anniston thanks to Jabari Williams. 18 yards on the touchdown scamper, and that was all Jabari Williams, Matt.
Yeah, that was just a great individual play. Got them all bounced up inside and just great play.
That's like the 3rd time at least that we've seen Anniston be able to overcome as far as great initial penetration up front from Alexandria as a 2-point conversion attempt upcoming.
Alexandria adjusted to this. They got 4 guys inside on their 3 now, so throws it out
here. There's the quick pass in the near side. That's caught by Carr, as he'll just fall down and really nothing doing for him. As the 2-point try no good, and Anniston increases their lead now up to 8 here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit Debit Card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Under 40 seconds left until halftime. 38 seconds left until we get to the halftime locker room for these two teams as Anniston on top 14-6. And I imagine we were talking about prior to coming back on, Matt, one of the messages for Coach again to his team, finish the plays defensively.
Yeah, get bodies to the football, You know, when he turned, he's going to preach to him. When I turn the film on tonight, I should be able to draw a circle, throw a hat around, and have 6 guys to the ball every time. That's why I think Anniston, you know, for me, with the quarterback rollout with the pass option, it's hard. You know, you can't get those guys there like you could. But,
hey, James, let me jump in here real quick just to show you how stupid all 5 of us are. Glencoe, 28-0 over the Wellborn Panthers right now.
Oh, wow.
I've been looking at the scores. I'm getting people texting me right now, too. I got the Etowah crowds texting me. It's 14-14, Etowah in Cherokee County.
Oh, that's a traditional rivalry matchup, as Cherokee County's had the upper hand over the last few years. And Etowah showing some fight tonight. Penalty on Alexandria moves the football at the Alexandria 45-yard line as Brooks able to kick it into the end zone for a touchback. Perez Remodeling, local and family-owned as far as those experts when it comes especially to remodeling. Andy and Russell Perez serving the Anniston as well as Oxford and surrounding areas. Bring our second quarter. You can reach them at 256-770-1661 or 256-419-6866. 38.2 seconds left until we get to halftime. We'll hear from Coach Rico Jackson for Anniston. Once we get to 000s, Wheeler all alone in the shotgun. And we'll have a whistle, and looks like a timeout on the field. So far in the first half, we've had a lot of penalties, some explosive plays, especially by the Anniston offense, as they've had Damon Pope get the first score of the night on the 16-yard rollout pass as he found Ja'Cory Carr for the first 6 of the ball game, and then also it was Pope being able to hook up with Judkins for the 2-point conversion to make it 8-0. And then after at least a turnover for Anniston, off a fumble actually for the Bulldogs that set up Alexandria at the Bulldogs 29, they were able to get a jet sweep handoff to their star athlete, J.J. Beeson, who took it to the house for 20 yards. 2-point conversion, no good. Cut the Anniston lead to 8-6. However, the Bulldogs able to respond quite well as Jabari Williams able to escape a couple of Alexandria defenders and scamper 16 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, you take away the fumble on Alexandria on the 1-yard line, and this is a different ball game right now.
38 seconds to go as Wheeler dumps it down over to the far side, complete on the bubble screen pass. That gets about 4 yards.
A little surprised they're throwing right there.
Yeah, it looked as if Beeson that time on the catch. Indeed, Beeson for a gain of 4. Might be the final play we see until these two teams get to the halftime locker room. Both the home and visiting locker rooms here at Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium in the east end zone. 7 seconds to go until halftime. Maybe one more play. As Wheeler, before that, will have a whistle. And looks like a stoppage in play, or
looks like offsides on the defense.
We'll see as the clock shows double zeros on the stadium scoreboard. So if it is on Anniston, that'll be an untimed down coming up.
3 seconds, 3 seconds.
There you hear Thomas.
But it's going to be a hot clock. As soon as I blow it. You can tell them, David, as soon as I blow it red.
Alexander's got to be ready as soon as the ball.
Encroachment, offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
There you heard Thomas Pratt explain, put 3 seconds on the clock, but that the clock will start on the ready for play signal.
Yeah, I think Alexander's just happy to take it to the halftime right here.
Well, Alexandria's fought hard so far. They've gotten a fourth down. Both teams actually have gotten a red zone stop on 4th down and forced a fumble from the opposing offense. But Anniston at least has made enough plays to take an 8-point advantage into the halftime locker room. Coach Rico Jackson methodically makes his way to our FNN cameras where Shasta Jones awaits Anniston's head football coach. The Bulldogs looking to put win number 1 at home on the year and what would be their 3rd win overall here in 2025. Shasta just about ready, almost in position, and we are now ready for Anniston's head coach, Rico Jackson.
Coach Jackson, your offense has been explosive. We've had Carr and Williams taking in touchdowns, Pope making an incredible run, throwing, running off the charts. What does your offense need to do to stop the fumbles this second half?
Stop fumbling. I mean, we get in the red zone and we're costing ourselves, but we're going to make sure we shut that up second half.
And what about for your defense to put a stop to Beeson's runs?
Oh, man, defense been playing phenomenal. 6 points on the board. And offensively, we put them in a bad spot, but we just got to keep playing. It's a whole nother half.
All right, well, congratulations on this first half. Good luck second.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
We're going to send it back to you, James.
Thank you, Rico, and thank you to Shasta as we're at halftime. We'll see both the Anniston and the Alexandria marching bands at halftime. It is Anniston 14 and Alexandria 6 here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
I'm Randy Wood, State Representative for District 36, which covers parts of Calhoun, St. Clair, and Talladega counties. As your representative in Montgomery, I say good luck to all our local student athletes, coaches, and supporters. Best wishes for a great season and a successful school year.
Step into the offices of J. Britt Middlebrook CPA, where you'll find professional one-on-one service for business and individual clients. In this ever-changing tax and economic climate, you can count on receiving the expert advice you need. J. Britt Middlebrook works hard to provide every client what they need to meet all deadlines. Tax season will be here soon. For all your accounting service needs, call or stop by at 1913 Berry Street in Oxford. That's J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
At halftime, it is Anniston 14 and Alexandria 6. Our friends at the Calhoun County Commission bring us our halftime coverage, and we'll send it down to the field where the Alexandria marching band performs here at Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium. Alexandria High School Marching Band, an outstanding performance at halftime here at Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium. Our coverage at halftime brought to you by the Calhoun County Commission as they invite you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. We'll step aside for this timeout as we'll also check out the Anniston Marching Band as at halftime it's the homestanding Bulldogs of Anniston on top 14-6 over the Valley Cubs of Alexandria. You're watching the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
Blue Mountain Pallet and Wood Recycling is a locally owned business and has been serving Northeast Alabama since 1997. We provide a variety of wood products at reasonable prices. We support our churches, schools, and law enforcement. Ronald Reagan once said, entrepreneurs and their small enterprises are responsible for almost all the economic growth in the United States. Blue Mountain Pallet, 3614 Old Birmingham Highway. Come see us.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
At halftime, our halftime coverage is always brought to you by the Calhoun County Commission. As our report at halftime, it's Anniston 14 and Alexandria 6. As the Anniston Marching Band have taken their position at midfield, and they're about to put on, I bet, a big performance for the home folks here at Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium, and we'll send it down to midfield for the Anniston Marching Band.
I'm the dog in the house.
At halftime, it is 14-6 in favor of the Anniston Bulldogs, as you heard from the Anniston Marching Band here at halftime. In fact, we're just a few moments, it looks like, from getting Coach Ginn out of the halftime locker room, as I see Alexandria waiting to get back out onto the field. And in fact, let's go ahead and take a quick timeout here, and once we come back, we'll hear from Coach Ginn here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
From Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium, closing in on the start of the third quarter, James Hardy, Coach Matt Glover, and our Shasta Jones, along with our FNN crew, as we are closing in on hearing from Coach Ginn as the Alexandria Valley Cubs out of the halftime locker room. They're making their way onto the field in the third quarter as J.J. Beeson, a 20-yard touchdown run off a jet sweep handoff, their only score so far tonight. While Damon Pope has a touchdown pass to Ja'Cory Carr and Jabari Williams, an incredible individual effort for the most recent Anniston touchdown in the opening half. Looks as if Todd Ginn now making his way onto the field as Coach Ginn makes his way to our FNN cameras, and we'll throw it down to our Shasta Jones.
Coach Ginn, Beeson had a great first half, great runs, great fumble recoveries by your defense. But what is your defense going to do this second half to stop Pope and the Anniston Bulldogs offense?
Well, we just got to tackle better. We talked about it all week, and we're getting there a lot, and then putting our feet in cement instead of finishing through the tackle, and that's hurt us. I mean, he's athletic. Both those guys are athletic, and we just got to run through tackles, and we didn't do a good job of that. And then it hurt us. The first drive we've stopped ourselves. First drive we fumble. I thought JJ was about to score, and he fumbles going in there, and then we just same thing. We get a holding call on a play, and then on fourth down we have a great play called and miss a down block. They had a stunt and we missed it, and once again just did some dumb things that we tried to fix at halftime. Hopefully we'll play a little better this half.
Well, good luck the second half.
Thanks.
Thank you. We're going to send it back to you, James.
Thank you, Shasta, and thank you, Coach Todd Ginn, as both teams are out of their halftime locker room. And there you hear some of the points that Coach Ginn made, Matt, some of the points that you made late in that first half as far as some of the missed opportunities and also not being able to finish on their tackles when they've had that opportunity to.
Yeah, they just got to finish tackles. You got to get the guy on the ground. It's hard to run when you're on the ground. He's just, like I said, you got to get bodies to the ball. Big thing here to me, second half is what coach makes the best adjustments. You know, you went into the game with a game plan. Now, is that game plan working, or we need to change something? You know, I looking at Alexandria. I look for them to come out, coming off the buck sweep, learn more of your waggle plays, try to get some guys open. Anniston, you know, if I'm Anniston, I'm keeping it in the quarterback's hands. You know, say, hey, you win this game for us. So, be a lot of adjustments.
You look at Coach Todd Ginn in his 8th season as the head coach at Alexandria. Of course, the Ginn family, as far as one of those first families when it comes to Alexandria athletics, with helping to shape as far as the football tradition. Just up Highway 431. 8 seasons for Coach Todd Ginn. Over the 50-win mark, a very solid 52-29 mark coming into tonight, including a 2-0 record this year for his team. A very consistent program. Take out the 2023 season, and it's typically a very consistent program. You know what you're going to get identity-wise out of the Valley Cubs.
Yeah, hard-nosed kids, going to, you know, a lot of penalties to get. You know, usually you don't see that many penalties out of Alexandria. You know, but as a coach going into this game, I'm preaching to my kids, you know, hey, win or lose, I think this will be another rematch in the playoffs down the road. So
that's something I wanted to bring up with you as far as that very discussion. You have a lot of depth as far as teams this year from top to bottom in Class 4A Region 6. And you just mentioned something I wanted to talk with you about. Alexandria, Anniston. There may be a few other combos of matchups we could very well see for some of these region teams, not only once but twice when it comes to that second potential meeting coming in the postseason.
You know, and it also depends on the draw you get. You know, sometimes you can come in second in the region and your draw is worse than the fourth team in the region. I know a couple of years ago when we were at when I was at Etowah, you know, we came in second in the region and we had to go to Deshler second round. We're third or fourth in the region. We have to go to a lesser team, you know. And so I think that, you know, coaches, and they say they don't look at that, but I guarantee you they're looking at that bracket and potential playoffs, because that's, you know, that's what your whole goal is, you know, get to playoffs. And this could definitely be a, you know, third round matchup again, third or fourth round.
I remember that season your Etowah squad went to Aniana and took them behind the woodshed at their own house. Middle of the season or so. And that was when, I think, actually the season also when Cherokee County began their run of 3 consecutive trips to the Super 7.
Yeah, you know, we played them, and it was a last-minute game. You know, they ended up beating us and ended up going to the finals, you know. But I don't know. It's just luck of the draw, you know, who you draw with, what your region is. But like I said, both of these teams, you know, I can look to make a deep run in the playoffs. You know, it's early in the season, mistakes are happening, you get better as the year goes on. You know, it's just there's just a third game, and so you can see that first part of the drive looked like both teams were a little bit, I don't know, shaky to start out with. You know, I think this drive in the second half for Alexandria is big to flip the field. You know, they don't need to get a 3 and out. They need to flip the field, move the chains, you know, get a good punt down there and make Anniston go the distance.
And you look at the scoreboard, both teams certainly feel as if they may have left some points on the board in that first half, but Alexandria is certainly only down 1 score, still very much in contention tonight on the road. MVP Wings kickoff upcoming. Dariante Brooks meets Toto Leather. Pretty good kick over to the far side. Takes a big hop at the 15-yard line. As it appears Morris, I believe, will take it across the 25 to about the 27 and maybe the 28-yard line. David's wrecker service brings us our third quarter. One of these two teams certainly doesn't want to have to use that record service to limp to the finish line tonight. They want to be able to get a strong finish to try and set the tone for the rest of the season. And you look at Anniston as well, Matt. They've got a tough stretch of games beginning tonight. They have to go on the road to a very much underrated Hoax Bluff squad next week.
Yep.
Oh, and then after that, non-region against Pleasant Grove and against Cherokee County to begin October. Here's the jet sweep give. Good contain initially Not a bad job by Morris that time, as he's able on second effort to get some positive yards to the 30-yard line.
You know, one thing Alexandria hasn't done at all is establish the fullback runs. You know, no traps, no bellies. So, you know, maybe try to establish a little bit of that fullback run to open up your other stuff.
High above Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium, our first trip here since 2022. Also our first time to have the Valley Cubs football program on since 2022. Second down and long. Wheeler goes under center. There's Ryan Brown in motion as the give goes to Beeson. He'll bounce it off the left side and gets about another 4 yards in this case. Second effort got him an extra yard that time, so a manageable third down coming up. But for Alexandria, they would like to have those 3 yards to get that Adam Bauman construction first down and keep their offense on the field.
Couple of quick scores, guys. We got Lincoln trailing leads 21-0 at the half, and up at Pisgah 28-13 over Pleasant Valley at this moment.
So there's some of our scores from teams around our region.
There's your shift again.
And we'll have, looks like a stoppage in play with a flag on the play.
You know, Anniston needs to get somebody. They need to know Alexandria, none of the O-linemen have their hands on the ground. So if they don't have their hands on the ground, look for a shift.
Defense. Result, after 5-yard penalty, is first down.
Looks like Anniston's coach over here is letting them know the same thing.
Oh, man. Rico Jackson, I imagine, not happy to have to hear the voice of Thomas Pratt over the Lot Mosby Stadium loudspeaker. Indicating an Adam Bauman construction first down on the offside. As there's a fumbled snap as Anniston gets the football.
Quarterback tried to run before he got the ball. You know, there's a quarterback run all the way.
A superior pest control second look as Darionte Brooks pounces on the football, and that is a painful turnover for Alexandria.
Yeah, and you know, one thing with Coach right here, he's got to get his guys, especially Alexandria, heads are kind of dropping a little bit. They need to buckle up right here and get a big stop.
Alexandria, their mental fortitude will be put to the test here as Anniston has the football from the Alexandria 35-yard line. They've shown explosiveness on offense tonight. Not always the consistency necessarily that Rico Jackson would like to see. First down and 10, though, in Valley Cubs territory is Cunningham the lone setback. Here's Pope. Under pressure.
Holding.
A flag on the play as Pope will be driven out of bounds, and a little love tap after the play.
Yeah, I look for Coach to decline this. It'd be second and long.
I thought I might have seen a second flag come out, but I don't think it did. As Matt Glover at least believes that it'll be a holding penalty. And of course, we'll find out from the man with the white hat, Mr. Thomas Pratt.
Holding on the offense. The penalty is 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
I mean, we've seen a lot of sloppy play, too, quite almost on a consistent basis so far for both of these teams. For Anniston, 2 steps forward with that fumble recovery, and then a nice little almost step and a half back on that hold. So that'll push the football back to the 45 of Alexandria.
Here's your counter look right here, James. Looks like counter up to the field. Yep, counter to the field.
And here comes Cunningham, zigzags his way through the teeth of the defense as he finally gets stopped on a solo tackle at the 31-yard line. As coming up to make the stop for Alexandria was Evan White. A superior pest control second look as Cunningham and Williams have had a good night so far and almost an explosive run. And really White, without that tackle, Cunningham might have still been going.
You know, one thing, James, I've noticed, I'm a lot better coach up here when I don't have to call anything, you know.
It's so much better, I imagine, up here than it is on that field where there's a lot of folks wanting you to win every game.
Yep.
Rico Jackson and Todd Ginn so far have won all of their 2 games coming into tonight. One of these teams will have their first defeat as there's some running room off the left side, off left guard.
Good read by the running back. Running inside zone, it was clogged up. He bounced it outside.
Cunningham a good first step as that gets the first down, and an Adam Bauman construction first down.
You know, one thing I've noticed about Anniston, they're playing a lot of kids on offense. They're shifting a lot of guys in and out, trying to keep guys fresh.
Now, we saw Moody last week. I was talking with Coach Jake Gaines early in the week last week. He plays usually about 18 to 20 defensive players per ball game. But, yeah, a lot of athletes. So, hey, you got a lot of depth as far as your athletes. Why not use them? Here's the give right up the middle as Williams in the game. He gets out of one tackle and then turned around and spun out of bounds inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line.
What those plays do right there, they'll end up setting up the play-action pass because the linebackers are having to bite for that inside zone, and I'd look for Anniston in a minute, try to throw something over the middle.
8 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. Anniston, they would love to push this advantage to 2-score territory as they're up by 8.
Another thing you notice out there is a lot of guys in white having to play both ways, so they're starting to wear them down a little bit.
Here's Pope on the give. Williams, lots of running room.
Good blocking by the line.
Able to avoid the initial tackle. And Morris helped out by also Beeson as well as one of the reserve linebackers for the Valley Cubs in Caleb Watley.
Those big bodies are just starting to wear on them now.
That's a first Adam Bauman first down carry for Jabari Williams. Cunningham off the right side, same play, and gets some decent yardage inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line. It appears that Coach Rico Jackson just wants to pound Alexandria into submission on this drive. As we go well under 8 minutes, in fact, close to 7.5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, I don't see the field goal team coming out in this situation.
Well, that and, well, simply Rico Jackson really doesn't have what you would call a traditional place kicker on the roster.
Well, and if you don't get it, you know, you gave Alexandria a long field. Here's your rollout right here. Roll out to the left. They got the rollout formation.
Here's Pope. As he'll take the snap, and he wants to roll to the far side. But
great job, backside pursuit.
The initial contact made at that time by the defensive end rather, and Corey Owens, as the Superior Pest Control second look shows the penetration from Alexandria.
Yeah, defensive end made that play by setting the edge, but then you had the backside pursuit to the quarterback. Last time they ran that, you didn't have the backside pursuit, and he cut it back to the other side of the field for a big gain.
Anniston's been able to chew up the clock on this drive despite having a short field, as we're well under 7 minutes now to go in the third quarter. In fact, though, the scoreboard has it as fourth down, but the down marker on the field still has it as third down.
Yeah, I think it's third.
I believe it is. You're all right, Coach. And we'll have a whistle and a timeout, and we'll go ahead and take the timeout with them with 6:19 to go in the third quarter. And Anniston looking to take a 2-score lead. They're up 14-6 here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Third down and long awaits the Anniston Bulldogs. However, they have the football in the red zone at the Alexandria 12-yard line. James Hardy, Matt Glover, our guest color analyst, Shasta Jones down on the sidelines. and our FNN crew from Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium. A third down and long awaits as Pope rolls to the far side as he keeps, and it gets taken down. Good contain that time by the Alexandria defense along that defensive front. Looks like Owens again able to make the stop.
Yeah, looking at that play, I think the quarterback, if he'd have thrown it to the flats, I think he had a touchdown right there. But it's kind of hard to when you got white jerseys all around you.
At least a safe play that time, safe decision by Damon Pope, the quarterback, to make sure he secures the football. As the play clock down to 15 seconds and appears the play just getting out onto the field.
Yeah, they got to hurry up. They're going.
Looks like a reserve comes off the field as fourth down with the play clock down to 1. And I think this is going to be a delay of game, or will there be a timeout called?
Little confusion on the offensive side. You know, those, as a coach, those are the ones you hate, you know, when you can't get lined up right and get the play in late and have to take that's 2 timeouts.
A timeout on the field, but we haven't heard as far as the differences so far from last year to this year when it comes to the Anniston Bulldogs, according to Coach Todd Ginn, in the second consecutive season that these two teams have met in region play.
I think the first thing you notice about Anniston every time is how athletic they usually are, and team speed that they have, and they usually have a lot of size on the offensive and defensive line. You know, I think, you know, probably, I don't know, over the years, you know, Anniston, it's crazy, but Anniston used to be a 6A. Now they're a 4A. So back in the day, you had, you know, a 6A. Anytime Alexandria played them, it was a 6A versus a 4A. You know, and as time has moved on, now we're in the same classification, and you know, it just seems like Anniston's going to put an athletic team on the field most years. You know, the main thing you have to do is have a mindset mentally to prepare, and then be ready to match their, you know, athleticism. You know, a lot of times I think that's one thing that must be nice, I think, coaching at Anniston, because most games you go into, you got more athletes than the other team. You know, here in my coaching experience at Alexandria and wherever, it's really nice when you have the advantage on the athletic side of things from the get-go. You know, Anniston's usually got that. Like I said, there's some things to counter that, and there's, you know, some misdirection stuff and some things you can do to try to use that against them. So that's what our job as coaches are, and to get our players confident in doing what we do and get the most out of what our guys can do best.
Well, a big defensive stop by Alexandria as they were ready for the test. As there's a jailbreak screen complete. And off to the races is M.J. Morris as he could go to the house. He's on his way, and he'll go to the end zone from 90 yards 15.
Out. That's the killer there. Now it's a penalty, 15-yard penalty for spiking the ball in the end zone. So I'd imagine right here that Anniston's going to back him up on the extra point, so you have to kick the extra point now.
M.J. Morris took the pass, and off to the races goes Morris on the Superior Pest Control second look. A 90-yard reception for the touchdown.
You know, right there, James, they ran buck sweep and just threw the screen out here. I think the quarterback read the inside linebacker, he read the buck sweep, and they had you had 2 over 2. Good play by the receiver, good block. Just kind of a dumb penalty right there at the end. I know he's excited and stuff, but, you know, like Bear Bryant used to always say, act like you've been there before.
Exactly. So. Well, we saw that with Oxford in their season opener against Central Carrollton, where they had a couple of penalties, but Ford caught a touchdown pass, had a little celebration, had a flag thrown, and cost Oxford some points, and at least led to Central getting in position to eventually win the ball game.
Yeah, now you're looking at a 25, 35-yard extra point.
Touchdown is good. After the play, unsportsmanlike on the offense. That is a second sportsmanlike on the player.
Oh,
he has disqualified himself.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, man.
Even bigger than that. You lose a player.
Oh, that's like 5 steps forward and about 10 steps back as far as M.J. Morris scoring, but he's done for the night.
Yeah, I think they got him earlier on the unsportsmanlike when they had offset and unsportsmanlike down here on the other side of the field. Now, coach is arguing his case, but You know, you saw the officials when they had that, they write down the number on who did it, and so, you know.
Todd Ginn not exactly thrilled, one, as far as getting the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and certainly the timing of it as well. And because after the touchdown, they marked this off 15 yards. Alexandria likely would have gone for 2 to try and tie up the ball game with 5:01 to go here in the third quarter. Thankfully for the Valley Cubs, regardless of what happens here, there's still plenty of time to try and take their first lead of the ball game. As you'll see, once again, Thomas Pratt come out and give that final indication. As let's see where they're going to spot the football would be originally from the 3, so they would snap the football at the 18-yard line.
Yeah, and you add 7 to that, that's 25, so you're looking at a 35-yard extra point.
Well, 35-yard kick or 18 yards to have to get 2 points on one play.
Yeah, that's a big penalty two ways. When you lose a player, you lose a defensive guy too, so now you got to replace, you know, an explosive player on offense and a defensive player.
I'll bet you, Matt, on that type of decision, you're happy you're up here and not having to make that decision what to do down on the field.
He's doing the right thing, but, you know, that's another reason I don't have hair.
Valen Eaton on for a 35-yard point after kick. Snap and holder there, and the kick, that has the distance. It is up, and it is no good.
Pulled it left.
So off to the left as we go to the timeout. 5:01 left, third quarter. It's Anniston 14 and Alexandria 12.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Serving Calhoun County for over 30 years, Crawford Office Supply offers selection, convenience, and low prices. Choose from a wide variety of office furnishings featured in their huge showroom. With savings of 50 to 70% off scratch and dent items. You'll find it all from pens and paper to janitorial supplies at Crawford Office Supply, including on-site printing, all backed up by unmatched personal service and free delivery to local business. Crawford Office Supply, 301 South Layton Avenue in Anniston. Remember, buy local, it matters.
Onside kick on the MVP Wings kickoff as Alexandria in position. As let's see what they determine. Alexandria says they have it. And looks as if that Ryan Brown came out with the football.
He's got the ball right here.
And let's see if they do determine that the Valley Cubs get the football back.
Big play, big play. Right there they lined up with, you know, they had the kicker. The regular kicker, he's looking like he's going to kick it to the left, and the guy on the left side kicked it to the right. So a little confusion right there. Good call by Coach. You know, getting the momentum back on your side after the penalty.
You took a look at the superior pass control second look at that onside kick. Well timed, by the way, strategy-wise from Coach Todd Ginn to go to the bag of tricks as Rico Jackson all the way out to the numbers. Right in front of us at the near side.
Yeah, I think he's saying that they touched it before it went 10 yards.
And there's the official indication that Alexandria gets the football.
Good play right here for Alexandria to try something, go deep right here on him.
And now Anniston with their backs against the wall as they gave up a 90-yard touchdown on the prior one-play drive from Alexandria. And now the Valley Cubs into Anniston territory off the onside kick. And we'll have a whistle and a flag on the play, and it appears a false start.
You know, now Anniston can really hone in on number one with losing the other player, you know.
Before the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah, MJ Morris doing a great play and then following that up with not exactly a bright decision to spike the football, celebrating the touchdown, and finding a one-way ticket to the showers prior to the end of the game.
Yeah, you hate it for the kid. He'll learn from that mistake, and hopefully the rest of the kids will learn from that mistake.
So first down now in 15 as Wheeler goes under center. Here's the play fake.
There you go, got him.
The
Throw
quick
the flats.
throw, and that's complete to the tight end.
Good tackle.
As the catch made by the tight end for Alexandria and Caleb Watley.
Just your waggle play. I look for, running the waggle throwback where they sneak the back out of the backfield and run a fade route.
I think David's record service might also be taking the services of MJ Morris to the finish line early tonight, as David's record service does bring us our third quarter. Still a lot of football to go. A whole fourth quarter and 4 minutes and change of this third quarter. Second down.
Sally.
A little reverse give to Beeson, as that's read pretty well that time, reasonably well by Anniston, as they hold the Valley Cubs to minimal yardage as Alexandria gets across the original line of scrimmage across the Anniston 45 to the 44. So that's a gain of 4 yards. So a third and manageable upcoming. Line to reach for the Valley Cubs first down is the Anniston, just inside the Anniston 36.
Yeah, you're looking at 2-down territory right here.
Anniston quickly comes up a sugar huddle.
There's your shift again.
As Wheeler
toss.
Pitches. Beeson skips by a couple tacklers, and then he'll get taken down. Thomas, the defensive end, on the stop after about maybe a 1.5 yard gain. And let's see what Todd Ginn wants to do here. It's a 4th and long. Does he go for it, or does he want to pin Anniston deep in their own territory?
If Alexandria would fake that and let the quarterback roll out the other way, I think it would be wide open.
Well, we'll keep that in mind in the memory bank as far as what Alexandria has in the fourth quarter. 4th down. Cole Wheeler already has punted so far tonight. There's Beeson in motion, as here's the play fake and the throw over the middle, and that is complete. And the line to reach the 36, well beyond that. An Adam Bauman construction first down for Alexandria to keep the offense on the field.
Great job of the quarterback riding that to make the defense think he's handing the ball off and coming up with the drag across the middle.
Evan White shows good hands that time on our Superior Pest Control replay. White able to beat his man over the middle on the crossing route for the first down, and they needed at least 7 yards and able to get about 10 to the 32. A fresh set of downs, late third quarter. Here's Beeson on the sweep as he cuts it back up the middle and gets hit pretty hard, but gets some solid yards across the 30 to the 28-yard line. We're under.
There's a penalty, 15-yarder right there.
And there's the flag on the field. A couple of flags on the field, as we've had quite a few unsportsmanlike conducts so far. Must be a lot of talking down on the field for both teams.
Yeah, I think that one's going to be on Anniston, number 0. Looks like he thought he was getting held, and
a lot of woofing going down.
Got to keep him under composed.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that we could probably air on our FNN microphones. If this is on Anniston, that's going to give a free Adam Bauman construction first down, as we're going to hear from Mr. Thomas Pratt here in a moment. And indeed, they're starting to walk it off.
That's one as a coach, just absolutely kills you.
Play, personal foul on the defense. Penalty is half the distance from the end of the run. First down.
So that is an Adam Bauman construction first down. 1:51 to go in the third quarter.
See, that's once again calling those early timeouts. He only has one left. This is a good time to call a timeout, get your team composed, but he has none left. He's only got one left, so he's got to hold it.
So that could be a major issue for Anniston once we get to the fourth quarter. Red zone opportunity for the Valley Cubs. Brown, the deep setback. Beeson gets the give, and he's going to have to cut it back up the middle. A nice play, however, by Thomas, the defensive end, to force that back up the middle and then make the tackle.
You know, if Alexandria coaches are watching, you know, I think they'll come back to that quarterback fake and roll out and have your tight end right there on this side run a corner route. Option to throw the ball or run the ball.
So second down, as they'll spot the football at the 14-yard line. Beeson able to get back to the line of scrimmage. So no gain that time, as Charles Thomas has had a solid game along the defensive front. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Here's Beeson off left guard and trips up and taken down that time for about a couple to the 12, maybe. Oh, they'll spot it at the 12-yard line. Third down coming up and long.
Yeah, they got to snap it one more time.
There's about a 1.5 second difference between the play clock and the game clock. And also it appears that Alexandria is in Eaton's field goal range if they have to go for a field goal to take their first lead. So we'll have, looks like a stoppage in play and a timeout, or a timeout on the field, I believe. Or
yeah, looks like injury.
Yeah, an injury timeout with 17.6 seconds to go. Tell you what, a couple of big plays in this third quarter. Actually, 3 big plays, really. An incomplete pass on fourth down inside the red zone for Anniston. And then right after that, that 90-yard pass from Wheeler to M.J. Morris has gotten Alexandria to within 2, as now they restart the clock on third down.
I think they're going to take it to the quarter right here.
Clock down to 3, as indeed it appears that the snap's going to come to begin the fourth quarter. Anybody's ball game, as the Anniston Bulldogs clinging for dear life at home as they lead 14-12 going into the final 12 minutes. 3rd and 8 coming up for Alexandria on the other side of this timeout here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at BamaSheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
A lot of times where the game really begins, and that's the fourth quarter. The final 12 minutes to go as Alexandria down 2, but they have the ball in position to potentially take their first lead of the night. James Hardy, Coach Matt Glover, and you know all too well how important these final 12 minutes are. As Alexandria looking to take over the lead here in the fourth quarter, 3rd down and 8. Wheeler under center. Rolling.
Throwback.
Now screen
Got
to
him
Brown.
wide open.
Has
Great
room.
call.
He's off to the end zone as Alexandria takes the lead.
Great call by the coaches right there. Got the motion, had to throw back to the fullback, little screen action to the boundary. Just got lost in the backfield.
Ryan Brown hauls it in on the screen from 12 yards out. A superior pest control second look, as there you see no one touches Brown until in fact, nobody touches him until he gets into the end zone. So now that makes it Alexandria 18 and Anniston 14. This is a very big 2-point conversion coming up defensively for Anniston. If they can hold Alexandria out of the end zone in this 2-point conversion, they still would have a chance to regain the lead with a touchdown. And we'll have a whistle and a timeout, looks like, on the field. A timeout, and we'll take it with them. 11:51 to go. Alexandria 18 and Anniston 14.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Ryan Brown with a 12-yard touchdown reception. There's now a 2-point conversion try on the way for Alexandria to potentially make it a 6-point advantage.
You know, you heard Coach Ginn talking earlier about misdirection, and that time they did a really good job on that offensive set with a lot of misdirection right there.
Wheeler under center. Now they'll go into that shift. Brown in motion. Pitch goes to Beeson as he'll get out of one tackle, but just comes up a tad shy of the end zone. 2-point conversion, no good. We'll keep it here with 11:51 to go in the ball game. And an exciting ball game, Matt, as far as a sloppy but competitive ball game, as one of these two teams looking to get maybe the upper hand as far as Class 4A Region 6 early on in region play.
Yeah, big game, big drive by Alexandria right now. Now it's going to depend on what team makes the least amount of mistakes.
And now this is a big, big offensive possession coming up for Anniston. And they need to be able to at least answer that Alexandria scoring drive.
Yeah, you look at the time left. You're thinking as a coach, you probably got 2 possessions, possibly 3. So you got to do something. You got to at least flip the field.
So Valen Eaton set to kick off. A 4-point advantage for the Valley Cubs on the road, trying to pick up just their 8th win in the series over Anniston. There's another little onside kick, and this time doesn't get anywhere close to the necessary yardage. Looked like a whiff that time, in fact.
Yeah.
So, unfortunate that time for Alexandria.
Yeah.
As it'll be Anniston football in great field position.
That just shows the coaches and the respect they have for the return game of Anniston, you know. Kicking that ball like that, you know, trying to make them drive the field. I think I'd have to kick it deep and take my chances, though.
F&M Bank helps present our game of the week, Service Solutions and Strength, a way of doing business for our longtime friends of F&N, that is F&M Bank. Anniston in Alexandria territory as great recognition by the Valley Cubs as they get penetration up front, as the Valley Cubs able to get the defensive stop that time from the linebacker, Kaysen Gardner.
You know, I think Alexandria, too, coaches have recognized where the sniffer is, the tight end, off tight end is, where his alignment is. You know, if he's usually outside the tackle, it's inside zone. If he's inside the tackle, they've been running their counter game.
To the far side goes Isaac Michael as Pope under pressure, flushed out, and now throws, and that is deflected and incomplete as Beeson comes up for the pass breakup. Intended receiver was the running back, Jabari Williams.
Alexander did a real good job picking the running back out of the backfield. So that was trying to go to him, did a good job staying at home and picking him up.
Well,
could have got away with a little early hit on the back, but it was close.
I'll tell you, some nice pressure, though, really throughout the night from that front 4 for Alexandria as a 3rd and 10. Or 3rd and 13, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, if I'm Anniston right here, I'm rolling him out, getting him outside the pocket.
Pope sets up. Now tosses over the middle, and that is incomplete.
Yep, I knew that. Hands on the back. Yep.
Card, the intended receiver, as the flag does indeed come out.
Got away with one last time. That one right there is kind of hard to get away when you put both hands in the back.
And that's going to be enough yardage for a first down. So we'll hear from Thomas Pratt. It's looking at.
We talked about earlier penalties and mistakes. That's a huge one there.
J.J. Beeson on the coverage as he's the guilty party on the pass interference. So 15 yards would be enough for that Adam Bauman construction first down.
Result is a first down.
There you hear from officially that first down, thanks to Adam Bauman construction. 200 or more tile showers installed, crawl space and mold experts, exterior cleaning pros, decks, French drains, and a whole lot more from Adam Bauman Construction.
So we got a uniform issue there.
By the way, you can reach Adam Bauman Construction at 256-283-8880. Little equipment issue as far as the uniform that.
I don't know if there's that or talking about the spot. Might be talking about the spot.
Well, we know that'd be a 15-yard penalty. And so right now they have the football at the 36-yard line. Still plenty of football to go. Just a minute and change played in this fourth quarter. Couple of second-half touchdown passes by Cole Wheeler tonight. This one was a jailbreak screen more so, maybe a tunnel screen you'd call it, to M.J. Morris from 90 yards out. And then Ryan Brown on the throwback screen on the pass from Wheeler as he was able to go untouched from a dozen yards. Both of the point-after tries were unsuccessful.
Inside zone.
Yeah, first down up the middle as Williams taken down. As the counterpart, number 6, Eli Kirby, the linebacker for Alexandria, on the stop. They'll call it a 3-yard gain as the knee touched down about the 31-yard line. A lot of football to go. May come down to who has the football last. One of these teams looking to get the upper hand in 4A Region 6. Quick dump down pass complete to Hurd. He's off to the races. Has the Adam Bauman Construction first down into the red zone inside the 20. And we'll take a exterior pest control second look at that first down bubble screen.
Great job by the receiver blocking on the perimeter, getting his guy reached to give his guy a chance to make a play.
So one of those bread and butter plays, almost an extended handoff, as the first down reception made by number 15, Jaden Hurd, who scored on the first play of the game last week at Asheville. First down, and appears some early movement up front for Anniston. And that's at least what Alexandria indicates.
Do whatever they want.
Of course, it matters what our man with the white hat, Thomas Pratt, has to say.
Yes, sir. We don't consider the band's fine.
Sounds like Coach was complaining about the band on the other side. That's part of the game.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, yeah, indeed, the band, as far as having some extracurricular music, puts a nice little touch on a high school football Friday.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down. Whoa.
So that'll move it back 5 yards, as now Thomas Pratt will come over to have a little bit more of a discussion, at least with maybe one of the assistant coaches.
Yeah, I think he's.
And indeed, Thomas Pratt coming over to.
I think they're trying to readjust the clock.
So right now the clock at 10 minutes, 17 seconds to go in the ball game. Anniston down 4, but if they can get the ball in the end zone, they would retake the lead.
I know one thing, the White Hat's going to have to get some throat lodges after this game. He's done a lot of talking.
Maybe some water or some sort of liquid with that 99-cent bag of ice from the Grub Mart. Try and help have himself a little refreshing beverage for that throat following the ball game. Of course, our friends at the Grub Mart once again join us as far as presenting our game of the week. Don't forget the Bucks Island scoreboard show following tonight's ball game, with a look at scores, interviews from coaches, as well as a whole lot more from the games around our area and around the state of Alabama.
Looks like they got the principal down here for some reason. I don't know what's going on.
Not sure if it is about the band or not. There's certainly something a little out of the ordinary occurring, but it looks as if also we're about to get the ball snapped again on a 1st down and 15 following that false start. And they'll move the football back to the 20-yard line. So an extended delay there, as Anniston needs to get the ball in the end zone to retake the lead.
I think.
Here's Williams as he gets out of one tackle and stood up and taken down at the line of scrimmage. But I'll tell you what, Williams did a nice job just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as he could have been taken down for about a 3-yard loss. They'll actually give him forward progress inside the 20, just inside the 20. So that's about the 19.5 or so. Under 10 minutes to go in the ball game. Here's Pope.
Quarterback draw.
Pope keeps it off the near side as he stepped out of bounds and pushed for good measure by the linebacker in Eli Kirby. I think he might have stepped out of bounds further upfield as a Superior Pest Control second look, as they're going to say he kept his foot in bounds as Kirby makes the push out of bounds around the 11-yard line. 3rd down as the Bulldogs of Anniston can get that Adam Bauman construction 1st down without scoring a touchdown. They only need to get to the 6-yard line to set up a 1st and goal.
I'll look for rollout here, James. Roll out to the field with the quarterback.
Play clock at 1. And the whistles blow, and let's see if a timeout or a delay of game gets called. Oh,
delay
man.
of game.
Oh, that's a killer penalty right there for Anniston, as that'll move the football back to the 16-yard line.
They were trying speed option to the field right there, with the quarterback having the option to pitch the ball or keep it.
Tough break for the Anniston Bulldogs, and now they'll have to try and overcome that penalty.
Same look formation here.
3rd and a long 11. Pope.
Screen, hold, got a hold.
And complete to Carr as he'll go to the end zone. That's a touchdown. And I think there is a flag on the field, though.
Yeah, they got a hold up top if they called it. I don't think they called it.
So that's a touchdown if it stands for Ja'Cory Carr, as that would be his 2nd touchdown of the night, as we'll take another look. So indeed, give him 6 for Ja'Cory Carr, as the swing pass from Damon Pope, his 2nd touchdown pass of the night to Carr. And so that'll go down as another 16-yard connection, and that puts Anniston on top by 6, as you see the necessary blocks on the far side thanks to Superior Pest Control. As here's the 2-point conversion try, a dump down pass complete.
Oh, great tackle.
As Cunningham denied the 2-point conversion, as you had a couple of Valley Cubs in Beeson and White deny Anniston the 2-point conversion, as we'll take the timeout. It's Anniston 20 and Alexandria 18.
Anniston got away with another penalty right there. They ran the receiver in late and he didn't come inside the numbers. He's got to come inside the numbers. He just ran down the sideline and lined up.
I'll take the timeout here on FNN.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The MVP Wings kickoff upcoming for the Anniston Bulldogs as they're trying to make this fourth quarter an MVP type of fourth quarter. Of course, check out MVP Wings as far as their football tailgating packages for throughout the season. And check them on their MVP Wings Facebook page from the heart of Anniston. At Watt Mosby Memorial Stadium as a flag as the kickoff by Brooks goes out of bounds around the 6-yard line.
I think Coach Ginn got what he wanted with that, talking about running through the tackle. That last tackle, he definitely ran through the tackle. Big play right there to keep him within 2.
Yeah, that's a big play. We have seen, as far as the strength of the kicking leg from Valen Eaton. So really, if you look at late in this ball game, if Alexandria can put themselves in position to win with a kick, they could probably get the ball inside the 20-yard line and have a realistic shot of winning with Eaton's leg.
You're looking back, though, you don't hate to hash, mistakes, but how big was the penalty now with spiking the ball in the end zone?
Well, so far, Alexandria has been able to overcome MJ Morris's at least lack of brains in the end zone on his spiking the football after his 90-yard touchdown sprint. Took a jailbreak screen from Cole Wheeler and took it to the house almost the length of the football field. So first down now for Wheeler and the Valley Cubs in their white tops and bottoms.
Looks like a quick toss formation. There's your Sally.
And there's the play fake and the throw and deflected, I think, as might have actually been hit on the throw as you had pressure up front from both Judkins as well as Jalen Henderson.
You can see Alexandria now doing a lot of misdirection, trying to confuse Anniston. Had a guy open, but just a great individual play by the defensive end coming in and getting a hit.
So indeed, at least a good pass rush that time off the edges for Anniston. Second down upcoming. Almost 3 minutes played in the fourth quarter as now the Bulldogs up by 2. Beeson in motion as he'll get the jet sweep give as he spun around and still on his feet as he didn't go to the ground initially.
I think you got a hold, James. Yep, hold on Alexandria.
So right now a 2-yard gain unless indeed Anniston decides they want to take this holding penalty, which it appears they do.
Yeah, you got to back them up here.
The flag thrown about the time that J.J. Beeson tried to turn the corner. Classic area for a holding penalty.
I think this game's going to come down to conditioning as well. You look out there on the field, a lot of guys with their hands on their hips and bending over, so.
Holding. Offense. Penalty is 10 yards from the end of the run. We'll repeat second down.
Thomas Pratt once again with the holding penalty call as that sends the football inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. Under 7 minutes to go until we reach the finish line. Play fake. Wheeler sets up. Throwback screen complete to Beeson as he cannot escape the defense that time provided by Brooks. Also, and all will be credited on the tackle for Anniston will be Jalen Henderson, the defensive end.
Same play they scored on earlier, with the only difference was they had number 1 in the backfield. Last time they had 44 in the backfield. I think Anniston right now knows that key on one and don't let him beat us.
Yeah, Ryan Brown able to reel in the touchdown pass at the beginning of this fourth quarter. And Anniston down just a couple of touchdown passes for Pope, and receiving touchdowns on both of those touchdown passes by Ja'Cory Carr. 3rd and long as Wheeler, the fade route down the sideline, as that's caught in front of the Alexandria bench.
You could get offensive pass interference right here.
That would be enough for the first down, as the receiver in Evan White was able to reel in the pass.
Depends on what they call.
Now, let's see who the penalty goes on, as we'll take a Superior Pest Control second look. Great hands and feet by White along the far sideline. And that would be enough for a first down, courtesy of Adam Bauman Construction.
I might have to. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be close.
We'll find out here in just a moment, as it is a holding on Anniston.
Yeah, you knew it was on Anniston because the Alexandria coaches wasn't throwing headsets. So,
well, Mount Todd Ginn had interrupted by that point.
Holding on the defense. That penalty will be declined. First down.
Huge play there. 3rd and long. Single receiver route, and quarterback makes a great throw. The receiver makes a great catch.
So the connection from Wheeler to White for the first down. Here's the give. Beeson has room up the middle and then angles toward the left side as he gets wrapped up at midfield. You have a couple of Bulldogs on the stop, including Dekias Baker.
One adjustment Alexandria has made, they've gone to the power buck instead of the buck sweep. With the buck sweep, you're pulling both guards, and they're just pulling the backside guard now to keep the front side blocked so you get no run-throughs.
Nearing 7 minutes to go in the football game. 2nd down. Football just shy of midfield. Play fake and the throw complete over the middle to White. As he has running room, he's off to the races and taken down inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line, as White has come up with 2 big catches for Alexandria on this drive.
RPO there, ran an inside slant, reading the inside linebacker. They pulled the guard. Linebacker read the guard for the run and threw right behind him. Great read by the quarterback.
Valen Eaton also, keep in mind, now the football inside the red zone at the 16. That is within Eaton's kick, within his range, as he just missed on a 35-yard extra point earlier in this second half. Wheeler brings his team up to the line and comes in motion in Brown as Beeson on the give, as he'll plunge his way across the 15 to about the 13.
Same play, power buck again. Uh-oh, you got a penalty, looks like on Anniston right there. Late penalty, 15-yard, half the distance to the goal, just going brain dead here.
Oh, man, that would be a Adam Bowden Construction first down on a penalty. Not exactly what Coach Rico Jackson wants at this time, as you can see, basically asking what's going on with his team on the field.
Yep. Be a good time for a timeout right here just to get them composed, but with only one left, you know, you kind of want to save that for the offense.
Yeah, with 6:11 to go, it might be a bit early to use that precious timeout at this point.
Game inside the game.
Dead ball after the play, personal foul on the defense. The penalty's half the distance to the goal, result is a first down.
So a 1st and goal awaits the Valley Cubs. As we're almost halfway through this fourth quarter, it's crunch time now for both of these teams, as a key region win on the line for either the Valley Cubs or the Bulldogs. Class 4A Region 6, as both teams have earned their first region win last week. Anniston at Asheville, and then at home for Alexandria in their home opener over White Plains. This is the home opener here in 2025 for the Anniston Bulldogs. As it appears, there is timeout on the field with 6:11 to go in the football game. And, Matt, this is coming right down to the wire.
Yep, least amount of mistakes. And right now, Anniston's gotten 2 big penalties that's really hurt them. Just, once again, self-inflicted wounds. You cannot have it happen in big games.
Will be definitely sting for Anniston if they cannot hold on to this lead after winning back-to-back road games to begin the regular season. I mentioned at Asheville and also 2 weeks ago at Beauregard in their first game of the regular season. First and goal. They'll say the football at the 6-yard line. Wheeler goes under center. Goes to Beeson as he dropped the football, but luckily able to get it back for Alexandria.
Yeah, they were lucky there. Ball on the turf.
That ball, at least a little miss handoff, more so on Beeson's end.
I think he was down. Anniston saying they got the ball, but I think the receiver's down.
Yeah, indeed. And
they got another penalty for throwing the ball.
Oh, man.
The kid threw at the ball. Got to get him composed. Keep your composure.
That is not exactly what Rico Jackson's team needs. Actually, that was a 3rd down. That was only a half the distance on the personal foul.
Could be. You got to look out and make sure that kid, didn't get the personal foul earlier. He could be ejected as well.
Well, we already saw M.J. Morris.
Because the officials are checking numbers right there. They're looking to see who they called it on earlier in the game. If this second one, he's out.
Oh, you got to wonder how full that notebook is so far for Thomas Pratt, because that has gotten a lot of work so far tonight.
Yeah, they're going to need a stenographer down there.
M.J. Morris already sent out of the football game in the 3rd quarter after scoring on his biggest play of the season.
I think he's out. Coaches from Anniston are saying it looks like they're sending another guy in.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. After marking off penalty, it's enough for a 1st down.
Now, you could hear the Anniston faithful not exactly thrilled with that call.
No, you can't throw the football.
That's not the type of penalty you want in a big-time, almost a playoff type of ball game, albeit early in the season. But one of those wins for either one of these teams could have a lot of ramifications later on in the season. 1st and goal inside the 5.
ISO.
Here's Beeson. And it goes right into the teeth of that Anniston defense and gets about a yard, maybe inside the 3.
If I'm coach, I don't know if I'd keep running that play. Even though if you get down there and can't score, at least you can kick a field goal.
So 2nd down. 2nd and goal. And we'll say the ball just shy of the 2-yard line. Back the nose of the football right at the 2. Biggest play of the season so far, potentially for Alexandria. A touchdown would put them back on top.
There's a shift.
Play clock down to 2. Give to Beeson, off right in, and he's in for the touchdown.
They haven't adjusted yet to that. So now you got a 6-point game? No, 26-14.
So Beeson, his 2nd touchdown of the night.
Got a penalty on the play. Could be a hold.
So a 2nd touchdown for Beeson on the ground.
If it's a hold, that's a killer. Looks like they're marking it off. Looks like it's going to be a hold.
Well, the 2nd look from Superior Pest Control. And if that does get wiped off on a hold, that is a backbreaker potentially for Alexandria.
James, if I'm
offense. Penalty is 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay 2nd down.
Oh, man. Wipe off the touchdown now, as that would have put Alexandria up by 4. Instead, Anniston, at least for right now, still has the lead.
I still say if they do the shift and fake the toss and have the quarterback the option to throw or run, I think it'll be wide open.
Remember, we saw that throwback screen to Ryan Brown at this very point in the field to begin the 4th quarter. We're going to have a stoppage in play, and I think both teams want to talk about this scenario, so we're going to step aside. Timeout, 4:32 to go. It's Anniston up by 2.
Welcome to Calhoun County, Alabama, your natural attraction. We have invigorating outdoor activities, amazing cultural sites, mouth-watering food, and southern hospitality, all wrapped into one amazing vacation destination. Whether you're looking for a relaxing overnight getaway or for a one-of-a-kind escapade, Calhoun County boasts an incredible selection of outdoor recreational opportunities. Calhoun County is the natural attraction, centrally located between Atlanta and Birmingham, with plenty of fun and memories waiting to be made. Come to Calhoun County, Alabama, a natural attraction.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go.
4:32 to go in the football game from Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium as the Anniston Bulldogs clinging for dear life to a 2-point lead. James Hardy, Matt Glover, Shasta Jones, and our FNN crew with you from the heart of Anniston.
One-on-one with the up-top receiver.
2nd and goal. Here's the play fake and the fade route toward the end zone and intercepted. Intercepted by Baker as he's off down the sidelines with a convoy at midfield as Baker still on his feet and finally taken down inside the Alexandria 30-yard line. And what a change in momentum in this ball game, Matt.
Yep, that was huge. I'll tell you what was even huge is you see Alexandria, one of the O-linemen, running down that guy, not quitting and making the play. Make him snap it again.
The biggest defensive play of the night for Anniston, as coming up with the big play was Dekias Baker. Baker, maybe even his biggest play in an Anniston uniform. The senior coming up with a senior-level play for his team.
The hold, once again, self-inflicted penalties. The hold down there killed him. You know, you backed you up. You was down there inside the 3, and then it backed up to the 13. Your play call changes a lot down there.
Now, even a touchdown would help Anniston build their lead up to 8. Now, if they can get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, they would just about be in business.
You know, one of these, James, like if they get a big, I know this sounds dumb, but if they get a big chunk yardage on first down, I don't know if I just let them go ahead and score to give me time. Counter.
Here's Williams, breaks through the initial wave and gets inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line. But one thing you do have to keep in mind, Matt, without that place kicker, or even with a place kicker, but especially without it, if Anniston scores 6 and gets the 2-point conversion, you're
over.
down 2 scores.
Yeah, game. You got to stop the 2, no doubt.
So under 4 minutes to go in the football game as Anniston, who appeared to be at least clinging to a lead with their backs literally against the goal line, they have a chance to potentially maybe put this game away.
Looks like a counter down here to the boundary.
Pope.
Inside zone.
Williams breaks off the initial tackle and another before he's put down at about the line of scrimmage, actually, the 18-yard line. As coming up from his defensive back spot was Tylen Hunt.
I keep the ball in Pope's hands right here. Roll out, let him give him the option to run or pass.
And now also the clock becomes a factor as we approach 3 minutes to go until we reach the finish line. 1 timeout at the disposal for both teams. Play clock down to 13. Line to reach is just inside the 15 at the 14 for Anniston. 3rd down.
Official jump. Right tackle flinch. Golly.
I thought the center might have moved a little early too, but.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. So 3rd down.
That changes your play call. Now you go from 3rd and short to 3rd and long.
Jamarco Rudolph with the early movement that time. 2:40 to go as that also stops the clock for Alexandria.
It's almost like a timeout for them.
In a lot of ways it is. 3rd down now and 8 yards to go. A chess match here between Rico Jackson and Todd Ginn as far as what these teams will do on 3rd down. There's the give, or the keeper, as Pope rounds the corner. He's to the end zone, and that's a touchdown for Anniston. Now
face mask on the defense. So now that's going to move it up half the distance to the goal to make the 2-point conversion easier.
All right. Or they could just save that for the kickoff, as we'll take another look at Damon Pope potentially securing a big home win for Anniston, as at least the Superior Pest Control replay shows you Pope rounding the corner from 18 yards out with a nifty little ball fake.
First time you've seen zone read with the quarterback all game. Are they calling that on the offense?
Well, they initially indicate the penalty on Alexandria, but I think that may be a little clerical error.
Oh, Lord. Face mask on the offense.
Oh, wow.
Huge penalty right there. Now you go from touchdown to a 3rd and Weaver.
Oh, wow. A personal foul face mask must have been on that block that sprung Damon Pope to the end zone. An unfortunate break that time for Anniston, as now the football just shy of the 40. So that's 3rd down and long.
Same play, RPO off of there.
However, Alexandria initially had it bottled up, as Pope has blocking on the reverse side as he gets beyond the original line of scrimmage. Give a lot of credit to Damon Pope. He was contained early on, but found running room on the backside, as Alexandria did not have that part of the defense contained. As you'll take a look at Damon Pope's recognition and using his brains that time to help his team with a manageable 4th down coming up, as we'll take the timeout. Alexandria calls the timeout with 1:55 to go here on FNN.
It's game day, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
from the Loft Tackle Store,
from the team in service,
from the team in parts,
from the sales team,
from the Bucks Island family, good luck and go get 'em, boys.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
What could be the ball game if Anniston is able to convert on 4th down and long? The football just shy of the 22-yard line. They need the 14 to likely ice this ball game, as Alexandria out of timeouts.
Lined up in formation to have a rollout to the field with the quarterback right here.
Jabari Williams, the lone setback, as Damon Pope's been at quarterback for most of the night. 4th down, Pope winds up. He throws over the middle and has his receiver complete, as Ja'Cory Carr makes the grab, as that's a 1st down at the 10-yard line. Needed the 14. And, Matt, that should just about put this game on ice.
Yeah, and one thing I like right there, you see Pope running up and getting on his receiver right there before he starts talking, getting some kind of penalty right there, showing his leadership ability right there. Nothing stupid.
I think if we were at the Calhoun County Commission for a commission meeting, we'd hear the gavel pound down for this game and saying it is just about in the books.
Yeah, I mean, I think they can, with the clock management, they could almost take 4 knees in ball game. I think you can.
Yeah, the clock under 90 seconds.
Yeah,
really.
Don't even hand the ball off. Just take 3 downs.
But it appears that Anniston's still going with their regular plays, as Jabari Williams goes up the middle, and he's thrown down at about the 7-yard line.
Yeah. Like, that's where you need somebody in the box. You got a game management clock showing how much time left, how many timeouts they got. You got to have somebody in the box right here as coach and say, hey, coach, all we got to do is take a knee right here.
Yeah, they need really just one more snap.
Yeah.
And this game is over. Clock at 53 seconds to go. And play clock at 17.
There we go. Now we're taking the knee.
So now Anniston senses victory. And so they'll appear to line up in the victory formation. Play clock down to 3. As Pope will now take the knee, and that should do it for the Anniston Bulldogs.
Great game. Great game.
As they had a scare as far as Alexandria getting deep into Anniston territory. And they had a touchdown called back on a hold, and then the interception by Dekias Baker was able to at least hold off Anniston, or Alexandria rather. As we come down to the final seconds of tonight's ball game, a hard-fought ball game as Anniston improves to 3-0 on the season, a big home win in a big region win over Alexandria, 20-18. We'll hear from Coach Rico Jackson following this timeout. As again, your final score, Alexandria 20. And before we take the timeout, let's go ahead and send it down to Shasta Jones for the post-game chat with Rico Jackson.
I mean, this is a phenomenal game. The interception that totally changed this last quarter for you guys. Tell me about how that was for you.
Man, really proud of Kyle Baker. Just made a play. So, you know, that's what we expect from him. He actually was our captain tonight, so really proud of that kid.
And how about Pope and the runs he had and the passing? I mean, he was phenomenal tonight.
He won the ball, so we just made sure we kept it in his hand.
What do you need to see take place between now and our next game for your team?
Just stop turnovers. We get an opportunity in the red zone score. We was in the red zone twice, fumbled, and 3 times, red zone twice, and we didn't score. And 2 more times we didn't score. So just get in the end zone when we need to.
And what's this going to look like for you now that you're really in the running for the region?
Man, we just going to get ready for Hose Blood. We'll do one game at a time.
All right, well, congratulations on this win.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to send it back to you.
There you hear Coach Rico Jackson, certainly not unfocused as far as let's send it down back to Shasta Jones with another one. Looks like Damon Pope with our Shasta Jones.
Damon, oh my goodness, the runs you had, the passes tonight. Tell me how this game was for you and what this win means now.
I mean, it was a wild physical football game. Everybody had us losing coming into it. As you see, we got the upset. But it was just another game, just another day out here working, you know.
Working hard. What do you want to work on between now and the next game for yourself?
As we see, I missed a couple open field tackles. But, you know, though we got practice for it, we got to improve on that.
All right, well, congratulations on this win. Great game tonight.
You too, thank you.
Thank you. Now we're going to send it back to y'all.
A relieved Damon Pope, albeit also a very excited Anniston quarterback, joins us for our postgame. Let's take the timeout, and then we'll wrap it up following this here on FNN.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Memorial Stadium as Anniston holds on for a 20-18 win. James Hardy with you. And Matt, your final thoughts on what was a very entertaining, outstanding football game.
You know, it was just, you know, like Coach said, the turnovers right there at the end, you know, kind of killed Alexandria, the pick in the end zone. But my hat's off to Anniston, man. You know, they could have easily, down there on the goal line, you know, laid down. Looked like they had 2 15-yarders, and kid made a great individual play, great game. And like I said before, I don't think this will be the last time you see these two teams play this year.
Dekias Baker with the game-clinching interception. As, by the way, next week, for us, of course, our FNN Coaches Show on Tuesday from Top of the River here in Anniston, but also we'll make the trip for a bit further up Highway 21 when it comes to another big-time matchup in Class 3A Region 6 as Westbrook Christian makes the trip over to Piedmont for what should be another outstanding ball game for us here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week next week. A big thanks to Shasta Jones as well as Jackson New, Jim Jacobs, and our FNN crew. And a big thanks to Matt Glover for joining us this week, filling in for Eddie Bullock, who'll be back with us next week. So don't forget, this week coming up, the FNN Coaches Show at 7 o'clock on Tuesdays. We'll recap this exciting ball game and then look ahead to our next FNN Game of the Week coming up in Piedmont. There you see all the fine folks that help make our game possible. And so for all of our folks here at FNN, James Hardy wishing you a great Friday night as you have been watching the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.